Okay. I do believe we are good. I believe we are correctly live. I believe we're not. I should close the door. Okay. That should correct any of our latent audio problems.
Let me share with you the terrible wonders I
And we are now successfully live to wander deeper into the darkest dungeon with, oh my, I forgot we got DMC to 4. Can we upgrade your, we can't upgrade your fucking abilities because I have not paid the guild enough. Excellent. I knew I forgot something. God damn it. Whatever. Bonus stream is a totally fine go live message for this. That's fine. Bonus entirely regular scheduled stream. I used my one brain cell on the title and I forgot to edit the go live message. What's up, Lemon? What's up, Jane? Hello, Space, Aaron, Tift, Mevo, Stormblast, Tiger, Troper. Good to see all of you. I'm going to be dragging you all back through the dungeon today. It's going to be a good time if you make it a good time. If you're a hard worker, if you grab those bootstraps, get a firm grip, and yank upwards, we're going to have a pretty good day. If you don't, if you slack, if I see you scrolling Instagram on your phone, if I see you tending to your ailing mother's illness, we're going to have some goddamn problems. Okay? Keep it tight. Keep it fucking tight. What's up, Goten? What's up? Is that a Benza? Abexna. Wall Snuggler, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub for the 6th month in a row, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. Whoops, but Mauled, I'm actually both my parents' primary caregiver. You probably should have thought of that before you were conscripted into my goddamn dungeon run, Froggo. Boss, before the delving goes too far, thoughts on Bant vehicles in Commander? If there was any color combination I thought could do it, Bant could probably do it, even though they shouldn't. Vehicles, in most situations, are worse creatures. Bant is so good at creatures, and Azorius is so good at artifacts, and being umbrellaed under Bant, you probably have something that can do it, but you would need, you would definitely need a Bant commander that did not explicitly care about creatures, that cared about like artifacts or was some sort of like totally permanent type agnostic card draw engine to make it work. So I don't have commander suggestions because you're a bad person and you should feel bad. Troper says, Mauled, can I be real? I'm feeling very called out by the most recent short with you and Z. I feel like I did nothing wrong, and I'm being called out for my funny 2-card insta-kill. I do wish that we had leaned more into... I want to talk about those skits for a second, because the YouTube comments made me ornery today. But also... DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Surely there's no way for Selesnya to abuse vehicles with access to blues untappers. Definitely not. 100% no. Teton, thank you for the prime sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. I appreciate those Jeffrey dollars. Troper, I'm glad you liked the skit. That skit is filed under, I think at one point... PNG tube? What the fuck, man? Well, I do declare that I must have left this here camera on overnight. We can fix it. We have a backup camera, everybody, so don't worry yourself. But I'm gonna set this here boy to charge, so that I can use it for tomorrow's stream. And we're gonna go to the backup camera right quick. One second, where is that here? There we go. There we go. This is actually deeply upsetting after I had finally gotten the other camera to be in a position that I enjoyed. Now we got to go back to this shit. God damn it. God damn it. I think I can afford to tilt this down just a scooch. There we go. A little bit more of the chest for you fine folks. Okay. Hide the Sony cam. Tremendous. Okay, Tropa. Thank you for the 100-bit chia. Tropa, you need win conditions. Tropa, the win conditions you're running aren't fast enough. Tropa, 2-card win the game is too fast. Decide. Tropa, I think you know what we want you to decide. Tropa, I don't care particularly how fast or how if you even win the game. What I do care about is that you are about your business. If you want to win the game fast, please win the game fast. If you want to win the game slow, win the game nice and slow like molasses. However, what I will never abide is you submitting to me a deck that looks like cornmeal running through my grandma's pudding and then slamming a 2-card win out of nowhere combo in there just for the heck of it. You know that's not right. Mods, can we clip that? The ad's about to start, so we have to hit the manual ad break. And then we will be getting into the dungeon running activity. So see you all in just a few minutes. Subs, let's talk whole. What is up, Moth Girl? Mods, can we put your counters on another mod? No, we don't have the modzolith. So we do not yet have access to moving mod counters around. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the stream. Hey, so I missed the first dungeon stream, and I don't know much about this game. Could you give me a small explanation? Yes, Tiger. So the way this game works is I want you to imagine a D&D campaign run by a dungeon master who is angry at you. That is effectively the premise of this game. We are trying to go on quests to reclaim our house, and the whole time we are being besieged by all manner of crazy, fucked up, unfair creature. And this is our adventuring party, or I should say, our adventuring roster, because everybody dies all the fucking time. Now, I have very handily named the roster after chat, so that I have people to blame other than myself when things go wrong, because as a tall, cishet white man, I've never done anything wrong, and I need you all to understand that and internalize that. And so, the 3 types of missions that this stream runs, we run A-team missions. A-team missions are, these are the people we have tried to funnel experience, which is this little number here, items, which are these little things here, and skill levels to, which you can see by the number under the little box. They're the best of the best. We've invested the most in them. When we send them on missions, we try to be safe. We try to not get them killed unless they piss me off. And we try to make it home with all 4 of them. Then we have promotion missions to try to get other people who are low level up to being the A-team. Because if we only ever have one A-team, because there is D&D-esque RNG with a lot of the stuff, they could just die. We lost a huge amount of the A-team a few weeks ago when we were fighting a mini-boss, and we've just now rebuilt them. And then we have tryout missions. Tryout missions are the most common way for somebody from chat to get onto the team if they haven't been on the team already. Because in tryout missions, we take the lowest level people who don't have any experience invested in them yet, and we send them into a mission with literally no prep, literally no assistance, and we say, I only want you if you're lucky. So if you can make it out of the tryout mission, you're allowed to go into promotion missions, and we begin investing in you. But if you fuck up in the tryout mission, you just die. Our graveyard is full, okay? Most of the money this company has had to invest has been land acquisition to expand cemetery plots. Beto the Tuck, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. No way a stream I can catch. Indeed, my friend. Catch these nuts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Inner child. Gotta feed him. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. It's a casual, turn-based, Souls-like, first-person shooter, Metroidvania, racing, flight simulator, RTS, tower defense with roguelike elements. Thank you for that very concise explanation, my sinister goon vizier. No prep feels irresponsible. What about HIV? Liam, I'm sorry to say this, but much like the actual HIV crisis, which was a devastating, devastating evil, these people are going to die. Art imitates life, folks. Art imitates life. It's a tragedy then, and it's a tragedy now, but I'm still burying you. Heart Pirate Ali asks, can I get a tryout mission, boss? How does one become part of the roster? White Tiger, it's mostly begging. If you have cheered bits or gifted subs, we can move you up in the order, or we can reserve certain like character types for you to get. But for unpaid members, for unpaid interns, it is literally just ask in chat. When we have openings, we will add you. The last couple streams, the openings have been getting much slimmer because we're getting better at the game, and so people are dying less. Also, Kiro Kyuto, thank you for the Prime sub for the 2nd month in a row. Hey, yo, can I get another tryout? Also, it's pronounced like Cairo Kuto. Ah, okay. Cairo Kuto. Perfect. Cairo Kuto. Cairo Kuto. Gotcha. Thank you very much for that pronunciation assistance, my friend, and welcome back to the dog home. And we will definitely get you in, but again, we can open up with a tryout mission. What's a level 1 mission? Def Cat, thank you for a tier 1 sub for the 16th month in a row, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. Can we get some claps in chat for my producer slash manager slash friend Def Cat? I'd like to ask that you horribly bully at least one character and make them the jester. We've done that a few times. Darebrained has been through... this is actually like Darebrained the 4th. We continue making jesters, we continue naming them Darebrained, and we continue being very, very mean to them. Also, Heart Pirate Ali, thank you for the 5 gifted community subs. Welcome to Dog Heaven, my friend. And B2 the Tuck, thank you for the 45-bit cheer. It's actually pronounced B2 the Tuck because my first name starts with B and my last name is Tucker. That kind of sounds like what I said. Nobody roll the tape back. Only clip the bit message where I pronounced it correctly. Thank you, B2. You fucking fool. Jane, could you repost that personal question for me? I'm sorry that it got lost in the chat. Personal question. Hey Mauld, are you considering getting into / back into Standard on Arena? And if so, what kind of deck / strategy do you enjoy? Jane, I don't know if you saw, I think like a week or 2 ago, I made a short that was about getting back into Standard. And it was a guy being like, oh, I have this cute Bloomborough list. That skit is my like real life experience trying to get back into Standard. That skit is me in the fucking mirror trying to play Standard anytime I have. I just can't do it, man. It's just fucking awful. Like, I can at least survive a brawl match purely on spite, but doing like hours of spite only Standard gameplay Heart Pirate Alley, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. By the way, Allie's pronounced Allie, short for Allison. That's so cute, and it seems like I had that shit right. But thank you for the correction, my friend. If you want to play Arena Brew Timeless, it's the stupidest and weirdest format there is. I do think there is something to playing Timeless before you play Standard, because your cards are less likely to just like become irrelevant out of nowhere in Timeless, but when I play Standard, I don't get dopamine from a combo going off. And so I think that really like prevents me from ever super enjoying Standard. Like the deck that I liked in Standard was Rakdos Lizards right after Bloomborough came out, and it was like kind of aggro, kind of tempo. But I don't like red deck wins. I really don't like things like the Omniscience combo. But so much of, I guess it's just like people always talk about Standard and Standard being fun to play because like, oh, there's so much powerful stuff going on. It's so intense. There's so much good competition. And anytime I play Standard, I just never feel like there's meaningful decisions. Even in games that feel close, it's just like, oh, do I play the good card or do I play the bad card? Like I have to spend an hour playing games that could have been done via auto battler to get like 1 minute of good gameplay. And so maybe that's something that I would feel different about if I was a better player, because I'm not fucking Einstein just big braining the whole format. I'm middling at best at Standard, but when I play Standard, it's just, like all the times when chat gets really backseaty, or I get into situations where I realize like, oh, there are multiple decisions here. It's just like there's like one obviously good card to play. There are two other cards I could play, but they're very bad and are betting on like a very unlikely thing to happen for them to pay off, and so it just feels like gambling. Yeah, Danny, Omniscience combo is a thing. I think Omniscience came back with Foundations. So anyway, let's do this tryout mission. I think we do need deeds. So if we're doing a tryout mission, that means we're sending Axeman Bat, we're sending Zoria, we're sending Felion, and we're gonna send Blue Jay as well. Felion's actually gonna go way in the back so that Blue Jay can do something. I'm going to make a custom instant/sorcery that is colorless. What should the effect be? Deleting the card. Easy. Thank you. Rat fan, hit me with that personal question, my friend. Okay, we have a shovel. I will give 4 food. In my infinite generosity, I will provide the tryout team 4 food. Riffle Dupes, that is why we're doing the tryout mission, because Heart Pirate Alley has given 5 gifted community subs, and I know that they want to be on the roster, and Cairo also wants to get back on the roster and has just subbed today. So we're gonna see how lucky the C team is feeling. Oh, let me get a prediction going. Start prediction. Then who's this fucking occultist? Blue Jay is our fucking occultist. Alright, you got a minute for who amongst the lowly tryouts will make the B team. No, platypus. Then let me see if... Rat fan again. Oh, personal question. What is your favorite companion from the cycle? Mine is Lurrus. I think I have to give you Lurrus because Lurrus is the only one that like approaches interesting playability for me. Because the Gigantha is the companion you pick if you did not build your deck with a companion in mind. Karuga is the companion you pick if you're a trust fund asshole. And oh good, poisonous sap. Oh perfect. And then Lutri is just not allowed. Riffle, thank you for the 50-bit cheer. Hey man, I burned an entire team for a bit. I can't in good conscience say anything other than good things about onboarding new talent. So real, bestie. I think we have to focus down the ectoplasm first. Jomi Bug, we do not need a show of hands. Air fryers are the best thing ever, and if anybody says anything to the contrary, I'm gonna fucking get you. Straight up. Air fryers rock. God damn it, Zoria. God fucking damn it. I implied that you should kill that guy. No legs, I'm not a big fan of Gyruda because I'm too disillusioned from only seeing Gyruda combo decks, which every Gyruda combo player thinks is like very cute and fun, and it's just like the same thing over and over. Like putting Gyruda in your deck, if it is a Gyruda clones deck, is basically saying at some point during this commander game, I'm going to start a second game of like Minesweeper / Solitaire. David, I appreciate your effort, bestie, but I get it. Trust me, I get it. What's a good way to get cards in Arena? I spent most of my wild cards building my Krenko Brawl deck. So the best way... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. 25% healing skills? Is that a present for Moth Girl I see?
A handsome reward.
Oh, God, we have spiders. Okay. So Jane 4 is hilarious when it pops off. If we're still talking about Gyruda Companion, that's one of those things where much like guys, I'm going to say something highly controversial. I understand why the Crab Rave video is funny. Combos like Crab Rave are not hilarious to me. That is where my autism like fully takes over, and I'm just like, I do not fucking get it. And Gyruda combo is the very same shit to me, where I'm just like, if you look me in the eyes and tell me it's funny, I need you to tell me why. I truly, not from a place of hate, not from a place of like, oh, I don't want you to win the game, I don't want you to pop off. It literally, like, it just seems like you're rolling 1d4s on the premise that you will apologize to all of us if you ever roll a 1. I fundamentally fail to understand. Oh yeah, Mothgirl, you are dead. Damn, I guess you're not getting a present. That's my fault. I do fully understand. Cairo, I understand loving to gamble. Like, I understand why a person might want to goldfish or play the Gyruda combo. I just don't understand thinking it's Defcat saying, name a funny combo or interaction. Okay. None. Why do you think I make jokes all the time? Do you think that I couch literally everything I talk about and do in 18 layers of fucking irony and oh, my camera froze. Beautiful. I forgot. We're on the goddamn hold on. I can set this up to do it correctly. There we go. Now that scene's appropriate. Anyway, Defcat asks, Maultown, name a funny combo or interaction. None. I don't find cards individually funny. That is why I make jokes all the time. I do not couch all of the things I like and care about and want to talk about in 18 fucking layers of irony and fart jokes because I think they are inherently interesting. I do it because I think they are inherently boring and they require outside intervention to make them funny. So like I think a Gyruda pilot could potentially be funny, but I'm just always struggling. I'm always struggling when somebody goes like, oh this deck is so funny, because I just don't think they exist. I think some get very, very close. The one time I actively laughed out loud in a game is when we all mutually agreed to pass the humble defector to the next player in the turn order. See, I think that is funny. And I've also had a game where a coveted jewel was resolved and everybody went like, okay, we're not blocking for the rest of the game. But that was funny because of us as people. I think there are cards that lend themselves to funny bits more than others, specifically anything group hug oriented. Anything that gives you, the player, the ability to make a decision about other people getting extra resources. It is easier for you to be funny about that than it is for something like just, oh, this is a big fuck you dragon. But again, like, the card didn't do that.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Chaos warp into the thing you warped or into an even worse thing will never not be funny. See, that's again like, congratulations on discovering irony. That's what's funny about chaos warping into a worse thing is like, I will give chaos warp some funny points because it opens the door for irony to happen, but it's not funny because it's chaos warp. It's funny because irony occurred. Dubious Challenge is a funny card. Okay. I mean, you could make this funny. Other people are getting things, and so like there is absolutely the potential for you to be funny with this card, but I think there's a difference between like, I had a funny interaction that was facilitated by this piece of cardboard versus like the piece of cardboard is inherently silly. Thank you, Troper.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Would you consider any unset cards funny? I don't think so. I think there's a ton of unset cards where, again, like, the situations that they can create open the door for people being funny. Like, that's why I do the commander roasts, and why the commander roasts are almost never just from the perspective of, like, this is card, and they're almost always from the perspective of, like, this is what you can then do with card and what those people are like.
Trick of the light.
We have to do every room battle, so we got to go in here. Some flavor text can definitely be funny. I'll agree with that.
Nature herself, a victim to this
I have some flavor texts have definitely gotten like the heavy nasal exhale. Oh yeah, hit me with that personal question, Britbread. Oh my god, we got a surprise on 36. That's promotion material if you ask me.
masterfully executed.
We don't want to Iron Swan, we just want to fucking kill this brawler. I think if we do Hound's Harry, that'll work. Yeah, you should be fucking dead now. Perfect. They're off by accident. I'll turn them on.
The slow death.
Alright, customs are now back on.
Forgiving.
DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. The best flavor text of the moment may be Enraged Revolutionary. Let me check this shit out. Oh yeah, that's hot. When every right is voted away, only rage remains. Hell yeah. Very timely. Very timely. Okay, let me go. I think I want to heal. Let's gamble Blue Jay's life. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty goddamn good. Light's not going to work, so I'll just start. Okay. Felian, goddammit. Customs were off intentionally, so Mauled would get at least one dungeon in the first 2 hours of the stream. It's only been 30 minutes. We're on track, okay? We're totally on track. It's totally fine. Zoria, it's not looking great for you. Ripred, we were talking about combos, so I have a semi-casual combo deck with a lot of flavor I've been puttering with for a while. My question is, do you think a deck that's committed to comboing can be fair bracket 3? I worry that I'm going to end up shoehorned into bracket 4, even though I'm not going all in on cheap tutors and obvious combos. So unfortunately, somebody other than me has put this in a really good way. And so I have to give fucking another human being credit instead of saying something eloquent and taking it for myself. So let me pull this video up so that it's very clear that this is what I'm referencing before I yoink it onto screen. Okay, take this off. So the reason your casual, funny, and or flavorful combo is always going to break down, and this is something else that Salubrious Snail has touched on before, is casual commander is about escalation. It is about a clear and transparent step up over time in how powerful the things you're doing are, and the things that will lead to feels bad moments. Which is why people don't like Coalition Victory. As I haven't even watched this video, I just saw the title and I was like, Rebel, you bitch. Rebel, you shit-eating, clever little fuck ass. But that's why people don't like Coalition Victory. It's why people don't like Worldfire wins as much. Anything that is a sort of like jump scare win, people tend to not like shy of bracket 4, because shy of bracket 4, the games are built around this idea of like a narrative arc of Commander rather than an actual like competitive practice. It's not about winning. It's not about winning like within the rules of brackets 1, 2, 3 and having like a good strong strategy within them. It's about having a fun escalation of hostilities that people can follow along. Again, like the combo lines requiring 3 cards that typically still does not feel like a good escalation, because here's what's going to happen. Or I guess we'll do MS Paint. We'll do MS Paint so that I can double dip on blatantly ripping off Rebels material and then blatantly ripping off Pirate software in the same stream. So if you're doing a combo where you need 3 things, step 1 of that combo, I'm willing to bet nothing happens, nothing matters. This is generally the case with a lot of like 3-card combo situations. Is in your head you're telling yourself, oh, this is fair. Pay no attention to how bad I am at writing with a mouse. You're telling yourself, this is fair because I am being very transparent about how many pieces the combo needs. And once you see the first piece of the combo, you should understand, hey, stuff is happening, but I'm not impacting the board. And so I'm not being unfair. And then you play your second piece of the combo. Same thing. Nothing happens. And now you're still telling yourself, oh, this is fair because now I'm 2/3 of the way to my combo win, but I haven't interrupted anybody. I haven't done anything that's going to feel bad. And then on the third step, you win. If you look at these 3 steps, keeping in mind that one of the most important things to other commander players is escalation, I think it becomes very clear why people get pissed off about combos. You internally may view it as an escalation because in your head, right, internally you're like, I'm 1/3 of the way there. I'm 2/3 of the way there. Now I am 100% of the way to my win condition, and I have escalated to a good win. But for the context of the other players, you've played no threats. You probably haven't interacted with the board at all. The only thing that makes it represent an escalation is you very loudly telling people, hey, I'm 1/3 of the way to my win. Hey, I'm 2/3 of the way to my win. Hey, now I'm going to win. So even though it's fair, I'm not going to tell you it's unfair. Even though it's completely fair, it's always going to feel out of nowhere. There are some pods who will view just like you sticking the value piece as a transparent escalation of hostilities, but for the most part it's like, let's imagine all three of your combo pieces, for the sake of this example, are 1/1s with a relevant ability to the combo. So at step 1 of the combo, your board is nothing but a 1/1. As far as the escalation of hostilities go, like, you can't hurt anybody. If they swing at you, no matter how much you warn them, like, hey, you need to swing at me, below bracket 4, you're going to elicit the instinctual reaction of, oh, I'm kicking sand into a baby's face. That feels bad. 2 steps in, you have 2 1/1s. Same situation. 3 steps in, the game is now over. You've gone from being this, like, totally unthreatening thing to now we've finished the commander game. And you might like the combo, but I would urge everybody to internalize, to really, really deeply internalize in a non-hateful way. Nobody cares about the stuff you like. You might meet a few people who care enough about you in this world to attempt to care about the stuff you like, and that is a beautiful thing you should hold on to with all your heart. But from a generalized perspective, nobody gives a shit about the stuff you like. And that carries over to whatever 3-card combo you think is tremendously flavorful. Sometimes you can package it well enough that it'll like get them hyped anyway, but they're never gonna care, and that's freedom. You can still do it. But when we're trying to unpack like, oh, why doesn't this feel good even though it's so flavorful and so fun, you just have to like understand and accept they don't care. Your combo could be like a 4-card loop that perfectly replicates this episode of a TV series where they did a Groundhog Day bit, and it could be beautiful and perfect and an absolute genuine rendition adaptation of a TV show into the game of Commander. Nobody gives a fuck, bro. I'm sorry. They don't. They only give a fuck about like the story you tell about it, which relies more on you as a storyteller than it does the cards themselves. And so the like so it's always going to happen. I think it is a like I think it's a tautology that combos in bracket 3 are almost always going to lead to feels bad situations in Gen Pop specifically. The thing that fixes this, the thing that fixes the situation of even fair combos are a bad escalation of hostilities, is once the players in the game understand and treat your hand size as an escalation of hostilities. Like once people treat cards in hand and drawing cards as an escalation, then this gets fixed, because that is what the combo player is always threatening. The combo player is always threatening, oh, this thing in my hand might be a brick of C4, it might be a whoopee cushion. You don't know. And until people treat the stuff in your hand with like the same level of respect and danger as the stuff that's on your field, it's never going to feel good. Like I think low power combo is basically always a mistake outside of a dedicated play group where you have very good rapport and the rapport can carry the game. And again, I haven't watched this video. I'll probably end up talking about themes that are similar to whatever she's talking about in this video. But she's very smart. Go watch this video. She's on the Commander format panel for a reason. And I am sure that this will do a very good job of instructing people on why, like, below bracket 4, no matter how fair you think your combo is, people are still going to go like, hey, what the hell? My unbanned video doesn't have 77,000 views. This is bullshit. Guys, I think we have to talk to YouTube about this. Does that change with combos that require very obvious pieces on the board, like Raga Draga or Voral of Whole Clade? Kind of, but not very much. If the thing... Let's do a new one. Don't save. So if you have... Let's do shapes. For my combo to go off, I need a triangle, I need a circle, and I need a square. The question you need to ask about all three of these, if you want to understand whether or not people are going to think this is a like reasonable escalation of hostilities, is you have to ask for each piece, are they a threat? We won't even do, hold on. Fewer words to get my, nope. Fewer words to get my pirate software shit going. Jesus, I'm really bad at this. The ergonomic mouse has actually made stuff like this so much harder. Can the shape by itself represent a meaningful threat on the board. If it doesn't, people are going to think it feels bad. If your combo piece is, and I'm going to begin using combo very loosely. If your combo piece is Terror of the Peaks, people still might think you're lame. They're going to be less likely to think that it's out of nowhere. Because this is a fucked up card by itself. You, anything even looks at Terror of the Peaks, and you get kicked in the dong about it. It's a 5/4 flyer that makes you pay life to target it, and it's going to throw a bunch of damage around. This by itself represents an escalation of power. Once this has hit the board, we are in a new tier of serious shit is happening, because it is scary alone. Versus, I want you to imagine, because Terror of the Peaks will soft combo off with copiers like Miram, and then other just big dragons or big creatures hitting the battlefield. If you had a 1/1, that did truly nothing, but took the place of Terror of the Peaks, imagine how much less afraid of you people would be than if you had played Terror of the Peaks. Terror of the Peaks is sort of a Terror of the Peaks is probably what I would use as the archetypal example of fair combo escalation. It can still be very frustrating, and if the Miram player floats 12 mana and does it all at once, that can still be frustrating. But if your turn is turn 4, I play Terror of the Peaks, that is a meaningful escalation. Nobody's going to be like, oh, you went from not doing anything to winning. They're going to be like, oh, turn 4, that motherfucker played Terror of the Peaks. Or if turn 5, you play Miram. Meaningful escalation, because if nothing else, Miram is a big dragon who can bite you. And I'm going to desist with glazing the dragon players because I hate them. But that's what allows the dragon players to get away with a lot of their pseudo combos and have everybody still think they're cool. Every individual piece of the dragon combo is threatening. And so people go oh yeah, that's cool and fair, because the dragon's a threat. Yeah, Gorbash, and I touched on that when I said this starts to get fixed once your pod can recognize drawing cards as an escalation. I think it would also improve even more once your pod learns how to recognize ramping as an escalation. I am a diehard believer. I am a diehard believer that if you have been able to ramp, you have done the thing. And you don't get to complain about being targeted for not having been able to do the thing yet. Ramping is the thing. For some of the spells they have put into this game at 7 to 10 mana, ramping is the thing. If your deck is all big expensive shitheads, you getting to do the thing is not me waiting for you to play the first big expensive shithead. It's you getting to ramp to attempt to play a big expensive shithead. Playing the big expensive shithead is you winning. And I think there's also a big difference between oh, I played a Llanowar elf turn 1. I'll still kill a Llanowar elf over nothing. But there's a difference between I ramped turn 1 or even turn 2. I did rampant growth turn 2 to have access to all of my colors, versus turn 3, turn 4, I'm tapping out for Sky Shroud Claim to get to 6 or 7 mana faster. You said once, letting a blue motherfucker draw cards is the leading cause of death among planeswalkers in America, and I took that advice to heart. Damn, I said that? That's a good line. I should steal that from myself. Yes, White Tiger. There's a couple lands. I think like the nature healed a bit when Field of the Dead got moved into a game changer list, but like Field of the Dead represents a very sizable escalation in hostilities. Sauce God, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. I appreciate those Jeffrey dollars for the second month in a row. Oh yeah, we've got crazy backlogs. Storming, repost the rant, and then we'll do the custom cards in a little bit. Zoria, what you can have is victory. Once you're a winner, we'll feed you. Damn, that's crazy. Looks like you're eating in hell tonight, my friend. Enjoy dinner in Erebos. On me. Rant, why are ley lines always bad card design? Whew. I don't think they're always bad card design, but I do think Wizards is batting like 0 for 10 on... Not 0 for 10, actually. I think Leyline of the Void's okay. I feel like... I have a thought about this. Give me like 10 seconds for this to ferment a little bit more in my mind. Okay. Here's what I think the issue with ley lines is the they are a gamble. Ley lines are typically costed such that if you get them in your opening hand and you're allowed to take them as a pregame action, you're very happy. They're very good effects to get for free, and they're pretty bad effects to have to pay full price for. And the format that that type of energy is typically best in is Commander. However, most of the effects they print onto ley lines are only really viable or worth a goddamn in 1v1, which puts them in this like terrible half-life in both formats. Like in 1v1, the ley lines that were worth a damn was I think like Leyline of the Guild Pact for devotion stuff, and it was a goddamn snooze fest. You play Leyline of the Guild Pact in Commander, nobody gives a shit. But it's also practically impossible to mulligan to those cards effectively in Commander because you have 99 card singleton. So they are losing on both ends. Instead of playing both sides so they always come out on top, they're playing both sides to be a perma-bottom. Thank you, Blue Jay. So I think that's why they always end up in like rough card design, is they have a lot of effects. They have a lot of effects that don't do that much heavy lifting in Commander, and because they are a like, if you don't mulligan to this, you are quite sad. Outside of a couple effects, which again, like there are some ley lines that have been highly relevant in 60 card. Did he refuse to heal him? That's fucking hilarious. Hold on, did he actually go, no, I'm not doing? Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Is struck.
I guess we probably... God, I don't even know if we leave. These guys... No, they have money. We'll leave because they have money. Wield is sexist. Both competent women dead, tentacle enjoyer, and dog guy alive. True. Okay. Blue Jay's fired.
from those few surrounding farms as yet untouched by the spreading calamity.
I mean, I don't even think nobody makes the A team off of that. That was woof. Hey, I'm gonna need you to fuck off.
Suffer not the lame horse,
Bat, we'll
we'll
put you in the cloister to come back a different week, but we now have 3 openings, which is very, very meaningful. So let's go to the wagon. One of these has to be Heart Pirate Alley. So Heart Pirate Alley, are there any of these classes that you very much want to be? Sauce-God wants anything. Occultist, if you want to die immediately, that is your right. That is your right, my friend. Sauce-God, you're going to be the new Vestal. Oh no, oh Moth Girl. We could have Moth Girl 3. Sauce-God, you're going to be the new Grave Robber, and Moth Girl 3 is going to be Vestal again. Sauce-God, and then Heart Pirate Alley, perfect. And now we have some custom card redeems to go over. Oh, the window was fucked up. My bad, everybody. I'm so sorry, gang. That's on me. Let me go to Dear Mauled Hound. Start pulling these cards. Let me scroll up. The first one I see is Zoria's, and so that is what we are going to open with. We have the Necromancer Lord, 4 mana 2/2 with Boss. This creature ETBs with a 1/1 counter for each time you have cast your commander from the command zone this game. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may choose a creature card in a graveyard with mana value less than or equal to Necromancer Lord's power. Put that creature onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter on it. Kind of cookery, I think. I think a little bit of cookery. I don't mind that at all. I think you might even be able to move this to end step to allow this player to get a little bit of value the turn they play the commander, because like 4 mana, get nothing. Oh, that's like, I realize you get the boss counters on it later if you cast it for 6, but if I do like good lord, if I spend 4 on this guy and then somebody cast shock, or at least make like if you keep it on upkeep, please give him a slightly fatter ass. He does not need like full BBL treatment, but at least like a 2/4 or something. Oh, it'll enter with at least 1/1/1/1. Okay. If it starts at 3, that feels better. I would make it a 2/3 then. I still think like an important thing for fairness is making this guy unboltable. If the mono red Imidane player can just like fucking stance up and bolt you and you get nothing for a 4 mana investment. Ooh. Ooh. And because we're preventing what this type of recursion says to me is we're not allowing you to skip ahead of the curve that much, but we're giving you a ton of access to cards. I realize mono black has a lot of things to like buff power ephemerally. That said, I think you would be hard pressed to get a deck that could like entomb, self-mill, and buff Necro Lord quickly enough for it to be unfair. Shock Trooper, this plus Conjurer's Closet would do literally nothing. I need you to put that in your heart and lock it up. It would do not a goddamn thing to flicker this guy. Because the counters go away each time. Like when it leaves the battlefield, you can reanimate a bunch of cool rats. It doesn't, It's an upkeep trigger. It's not an enter the battlefield trigger. Do you think leaving Finality out would be okay? Finality counters go on the soldier. You cannot take finality counters out of this. Finality counters is the soldier holding back just legions of bullshit from assailing commander tables with this card. So I think keep finality, otherwise fine. Also, Bison Steve, thank you for the 500-bit cheer, my friend. Can I get in a DD character, whatever you think fits my personality best, boss? You got it, Steve, as soon as we have another opening. And Riffle Dupes, thank you for the 50 LG bits. Are cool, didn't know that was a Twitch gameplay mechanic. Yeah, I love the LG bits. Oh, that is true. That is true that it's just... I think I might be overvaluing any graveyard. Because an important thing is that this also enables theft. And so if you just do like... As always, I'm always thinking about the orb, bro. I'm always thinking about Mesmeric Orb. And so being able to swipe other people's utility creatures, especially in higher power games, I do not think it should be... Nightshade brings up a good point of reanimate being on upkeep makes it even worse because you have to wait longer to swing with the reanimated creature, which basically limits this to like combo only. So I think end step. I think end step solves it to where you get it the turn you invest the mana, unless people can respond at instant speed. And if they respond at sorcery speed, you got something. You got like a 3 CMC or less creature. And if they don't respond at sorcery speed, you get to use the creature to do something on your next turn. That feels, if we're talking in Rebel terms, that feels like a fair escalation. Next, we have Helios's Loki Cunning Trickster Warframe card. 3/3 mono black menace at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. Goad target creature they control. Whenever an attacking creature an opponent controls dies, you draw a card and each player loses 1. Not particularly risky, which I do like. Some of your Warframe cards have been getting really, really out there. This feels responsible to me. However, if we were WotC, I think the only failure of this card is you can't really build around it because mono black goad is rough. It not having access to red is really, really hard from I want this to be my commander because I love Loki so much. As a one-off legendary creature that you put in a Rakdos deck, phenomenal. So if we're not pushing WotC design principles, I love it for part of a broader goad strategy. But you can't really make this guy your commander because mono black goad is so shitty. Eternal Dark 866, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. Yeah, we are doing kind of like, we're doing a worse Karazakar thing. How much are we biting Karazakar's shit actually? So attack. Oh yeah, Karazakar is just on attack. And so this is, we spread the damage, but it's only when creatures die. Yeah, I think this is hurting. This is hurting crazy for not having access to red. Oh, thank you, Dark. I appreciate that. Let's move on to Stormblast card. Secret Commander. 3 mana artifact. Add 1 mana of any color. So 3 mana Arcane Signet. Eminence. As long as Secret Commander is on the battlefield or in the command zone, commanders and commander cards you own are legendary in addition to their other types. Secret Commander can be your commander. Partner with non-legendary creature. Choose a background. No. Instantly no. I need you all to understand, when Wizards of the Coast makes something non-legendary that you want to build around, they didn't miss that it could be a cool commander. They did this. The lack of legendary in the type line is for your protection. This is you dreaming about making a non-legendary creature your commander and all the cool, funny stuff you could do with it. And this is Wizards of the Coast in playtesting going, oh god, oh fuck, it would be so terrible if we allowed this to be a commander. This is just like... This card to me is the 8-year-old who only wants to eat cake frosting for dinner of card design. It's like a bad thing. I know you want it. You are wrong for wanting it. And as your father, I'm telling you no. No, the bear. Thank you for the 100-bit cheer, my friend. Welcome to the dog pile. And DMC, thank you for the additional 100 bits. The only card that I wish was legendary is Tamanoa. And even Wizards said they meant it to be legendary, but it wasn't. Yeah, sure. Non-creature lifelink, whatever. Yeah, go off. Keon, personal question is actually custom card question. I have a thought for making 2 cards based on my last D&D character, a boar riding Dwarven Paladin. The boar has trample. I think you could do something with keyword sharing. I think you would have to extend it beyond just 2 cards. See, like, again, with Tamanoa, again, with this, like, I fundamentally, I don't understand why we think strong interactions are funny. Because DMC brought up Tamanoa Mana Barbs. Is so funny when to me, I'm just, like, to me, this is just, oh, asymmetric stacks. Not even stacks, like, asymmetric burn. Which again, it's kind of... Oh, you're being sarcastic. Okay. That makes more sense. That makes total sense to me. But the thing is, I know there are people out in the world who we could show that to and they'd be like, oh my god, that's funny. And I could definitely make I could make a joke about this and I could bring in some type of metaphor that would make it funny. But I just read it as like, yeah, damn, pretty good. Suggestions on how I could change Loki. I want to keep it mono black because I wanted one made for all 5 colors. First and foremost, I think trying to make sure you are covering color parity is a bad goal. I think, first of all, that's a bad dream. I think you are arbitrarily restricting your own creativity in terms of, like, arbitrary rule following, and I think that's always a negative. Well, not always, but I think a lot of the times that's a negative. If you want to keep it mono black, it has to move away from goad, and I would instead... I would instead give people... You could maybe, like, create illusions. I'm thinking of the, like, hunted bone brute type of text. Where you give people 1/1 illusions. L, thank you for coming by the stream, my friend. Enjoy dinner. Or you give stuff and then you extend, so you give them 1/1s and then you give them, where's the custom cards? Hold on. And then you make it whenever an attacking or blocking. Yeah, or you give them creature must be blocked if able, but you have to, like, you have to build in, you have to make an inbuilt way for this to break parity somehow. And I think the best way to do it is, if we're not goading, it's to give them 1/1s. So give people chump blockers and then go, whenever an attacking or blocking creature dies, like whenever something dies in battle, you get the benefit. We also, the pre-roll demons are back, so I'm going to hit another manual ad break on Twitch. Giving out 1/1s is basically Rendmaw. Giving out Death Touch counters accomplishes something similar. I don't think that's true because Rendmaw gives out their 2/2s specifically in a way that is specifically designed to make the damage go through and not in a way that is designed to make the creatures die. I think that's a very meaningful difference. Rendmaw is giving you tapped flyers so that you can't trade block them, whereas Loki wants you to jump block with them. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Death Tyrant is my favorite combat parity breaker, I think. Yeah, I think you give it like Death Tyrant tax, but you put the draw card, everybody loses one for the negative energy cone. Whether you keep it under your control, I think you could even keep whenever an attacking creature you control or a blocking creature an opponent controls dies, you draw a card, everybody loses one, and then you go like at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, give them a 1/1 illusion to block with. And then when it passes to you, you get to like crash out on them for benefit. Yeah, Hunter, we're doing Darkest Dungeon, which means we're going to be looking at custom Magic the Gathering cards for 2 hours. Then somebody's maybe going to pay me $500 to look at their commander deck. And then we're going to do our second dungeon of the day. And then we're going to end the stream. Okay, next we have Danny Ugg's card, Beyond Acerbic. 5 mana Orzhov. Destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. Any remaining creatures on the battlefield lose all abilities and become 1/1 black and white shade creatures with Defender. They become tapped until the beginning of your next upkeep. Hell no. Hell no. That's like... That's so good. 5 mana, instant speed board wipe. Gets around indestructible. Nah. Instant speed board wipe. And it would be a thing of like, oh, I can... If you want it to get around indestructible, you can't get rid of all abilities. This is basically Creature Farewell at instant speed. Because, and like, oh, you keep 1/1s. But for the creatures we would be doing this for, they no longer have abilities, and they can't attack anymore, and they can't block for my turn. Yeah, no way. Appropriate cost, I think, is like... If you were going to move it to sorcery, you could maybe get away with 6. But if you're going to keep it at instant speed, I would be like 7 or 8. It needs to be really expensive if this can be done. Instant speed, everybody's creatures are fucked. Ruhin specifically, heroic intervention would not keep your board. It would turn them into 1/1 defenders. So the only way I think you make this card asymmetrical is if you're doing Teferi's Protection, which is kind of the classic, like, Teferi's Protection, then I farewell, then you die. Making your board indestructible does not save you here. It leaves you with creatures, but it leaves you with shitty 1/1s. Why is the art Lucifer? Because the devil spoke to them when they designed this card. At sorcery, isn't this is about as good as Sunfall, if not worse? Yes, at sorcery, this is applicable to Sunfall, but instant speed, this is... Hey guys, I don't know if you know this. Go play a game against your local blue player if you haven't. Being able to cast stuff whenever you want is kind of crazy. I mean, Danny, I think this is like... The heart of this card is not unreasonable. It's really just... If it was priced like this, it should be sorcery speed. And if it's instant, it should be more expensive. And the rest of it is okay. The rest of it, turning stuff into defender, like, that's not that bad if you are... Maybe you're like a defender deck with indestructible creatures, and it's good for you to get defender. So I would really just either make it sorcery or make it 2 more mana, and then you're okay. Okay, next we have Whitebread's card. Also, DMC, thank you for the additional 100 biddies. I legit just had to shell out $900 on computer parts, so I couldn't do the $694.20 bid. Sorry, boss. Goon Vizier, I accept your apology. You're doing your best, I get it. Riffle Dupes, thank you for the 50 bits. Love ads ending just to hear Maul tell the Hunter 924 the exact thing I told him. Alright, so Trevenant Forest's Vengeance, which is allegedly meant to be 4 mana. So 3/5 with trample, on attack or block, put a curse counter on up to 1 target creature. At the beginning of upkeep, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature with a curse counter on it, then put a +1/+1 counter on Trevenant. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if its toughness was less than 1, you draw 1 card and gain 3 life. I think at 4 it's not unreasonable. I think at 4, like, doesn't do anything until it attacks or blocks. Notably doesn't get around hexproof. Is only an upkeep trigger. And so it's not like... Nathiator3, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. I appreciate that generosity. I think more than not needed, I think we might actually want to cut the life gain. I think Massacre Girl from Karlov Manor is riding on this guy's back because it's in Abzan. Yeah, it's like if we were ramping for this guy, we play this guy ahead of curve turn 3. We swing them on turn 4. We get a soft propaganda effect for playing him on turn 3. We swing on turn 4. We have a curse counter on a creature now. Turn 5, we apply our first instance of DMC, they said in chat they meant to make it 4. So I'm going with ruling on the field of what they said they intended it to be. So turn 5, we get our first -1/-1 counter on for the commander itself. Yeah, storming, I think the craziest thing you do here is the turn after you play him, you Toxic Deluge and you draw cards equal to number of creatures killed. Yeah, like I think what the best thing we can say about this card is enough is going on that I can't declare it like instantly broken just off sight. I think I would have to see a deck built around this to see just how much you could abuse it. Because the thing is, I know there's a ton of stuff in black that can ensure that we are, and also to anybody who's just come by the stream, I promise we're going to play Darkest Dungeon. We do custom Magic card reviews as a Twitch chat redeem. We're going to be going back into the dungeon in just a moment, I swear. Thank you for being here. But I do think Abzan in general is so good at breaking all parts of this commander in half. Like, +1/+1 counters, they're good at that. Killing things by reducing toughness, they're really good at that. Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I am inclined to agree with what Storming is saying, that you are kind of creating a Ketramose situation where even though the curse counters are cool, you are just incentivizing people to run a million pieces of efficient removal that kill via toughness reduction, and you just like outvalue everybody without giving a fuck about the attacking or blocking curse counters, and you just do like minus all the time. But I think it might have to be whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if it had a curse counter on it, which limits it a lot. Like, that might even hamstring it too much, but I think that would be the appropriate break to put on it, is make them almost like bounty counters, and then the curse counters are just a way to like guarantee that the thing will die eventually, but you only get the card draw and life gain if you're killing stuff with curse counters on them, rather than killing stuff just because it died with toughness less than 1. Wouldn't that make it better? No, Hunter, that would make it much, much worse. It says opponents, dude, Storming. So Hunter, the reason that would make it much, much worse is with the card as written, if you Tragic Slip or replace Tragic Slip with any of the, like, there are like 30 fucking cards in black that can reduce toughness, or yeah, like Mutilate, or this is even a better example, Dismember. This can be cast for 1 mana and reduces something by -5/-5. With the card as it is written, if you have the commander out and you just cast Dismember on something that you didn't even put a curse counter on, you get to replace Dismember. That's very powerful. Removal replacing itself is a tremendously strong thing that you always have to be very careful about. Perpetually Tired Whitebread had said in chat earlier they meant for this to be 4. So I am looking at this commander. And I'm seeing 4. But I think if you do curse counters as the tracker for draw card gain life, then you're actually good. I think you are good the moment that you say, the moment that this final clause only draws you a card if it had a curse counter on it, rather than if its toughness was less than 1. All right, we're gonna go to Disgruntled's card. Fuck around and find out. 3 mana sorcery. Each player impulse draws 3 cards that they can play till the end of their turn. Find out 4 mana aftermath. For each card a player owns in exile, find out deals damage to that player equal to that card's mana value. I think the area you're working in is cute. I love the meme. I think giving people 3 cards is too good. Like, impulse draw 3, that's a lot of resources you're giving to the entire table. And then find out, you really could break that in half. Like, I think find out is the type of effect where you need text on here being like, you're only allowed to play this in Rakdos, actually. If you try to play this in Mardu, if you try to play this in Grixis, no. Astelarius, that's not true. It says each player exiles the top 3 cards of their library. They may play those cards until the end of their turn. That is just like, that's bog standard English, dog. Dark, I'm hearing you on end of this turn, not their turn. However, this, like, effectively that reads exile the top 3 cards of their library. Nobody plays anything. But, like, I like what you're working with on the meme. The meme's very cute. But find out definitely has to cost more. You're good, Astellar. Listen, I misread cards all the time. I have had to, for anybody familiar with my Commander Roast series, there's like 2 or 3 roasts where I have written the entire roast, began filming, and I was watching it in post, about to upload it, and I had to rewrite the entire thing because I realized I just fully misread a card interaction. And I, like, wrote the jokes, pulled in all the overlays off things that just were fully untrue. So don't feel bad about misreading cards. We all do it at some point. Rat fan, you need to redeem 1 custom per card. Yes. As Elec Man has hit fucking 4 back to back. Okay. Executive decision. We're doing Sturmfire's card. Then we're going back into a dungeon so that we can play at least a tiny bit of Darkest Dungeon today. And then we'll do another round of custom cards. We'll do another round of custom cards after we do the next dungeon. Danny, I think 6 for a find out. 6 or higher. Stop hitting yourself. 1 mana, legendary joke enchantment. Flash. Goated creatures can attack their controller and can't be blocked if they do so. Based, print it. Print it tomorrow. I'd play it. I would build a Goad deck if I could do this. Goad would be playable in Commander. Goad would have a win con. Goad would finally have a goddamn win condition other than Insurrection, which is a non-Goad specific win condition. Hell yeah. You kidding me? Give me this shit. Riffle Dupes, thank you for the 50 bits. Prove me right, Mr. Mauld. Keep reviewing cards. Nah, we're doing Darkest Dungeon now. We're doing Darkest Dungeon now. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Hey now, we have a hot pursuit. Sure we do, buddy. Thank you for cementing your... Oh, you're on second in the dog pile, but thank you for that continued contribution to the dog pile. Love you, bestie. In a 1v1, yes, this makes Goad functionally read as kill yourself. Okay. Helios, thank you for coming by the stream, my friend. I hope you have a very nice day. Let's rip a new... Alright, what do we want, people? Do we want a team or do we want a tryout mission? Bearing in mind I'm going to disregard whatever you say and do what I want anyway. We have 1 vote for tryouts. Multiple votes for tryouts. I feel like these are all the people who want to get back into the team. Cyberite, yes, you are still alive. Lord, thank you for the 100 biddies. Mana Geyser, into Stop Hitting Yourself, into Spectacular Showdown, into Insurrection, into Kill Myself while mewing at the table. First funny combo I've ever heard, buddy. Okay. We don't have enough A-team players, no. We do need, we do need to do some level up missions as well. Actually, I'm going to do a level up mission because the event this week is provisions are free. So we have Jester stuff, we have Trap Disarm, we have Damage, who cares? Oh, Girthy Poro's stressed as fuck. Go gamble about it. So let me see what... Ooh. Ooh! Oh, but it's Cove. Oh, that would be so good for DMC, right? Blight skill, ranged accuracy. What's DMC currently have? Oh, yeah, this would be so good for our Sinister Goon Vizier. We could... We can't send level 3s into the Cove, but we can send Troper in, and we can send Shadow Walker in. Can Riffledubes? Yeah, Riffledubes doesn't give a fuck about the Cove, bro. We have some level 2s to put out here. I don't think... Sloth, what you got? We're gonna send Sloth in with the Vestal healing. So what do I know about the Cove? I know that Blight is good, and I know that Bleed is bad. So having Troper here is actually pretty hot, but Troper does have to go learn the other Blight skill. Cyberite, that is a good point. You do Blight. So Troper's going to learn Noxious Blast. We don't give a fuck about Incision. Who else are we sending? Shadow Walker? I think Yopping might be good. Breakthrough is like... Breakthrough is hugely necessary. We don't care about if it bleeds. We care about this. Perfect. Then who else? We send Cyberite in as secondary tank and they just fucking vomit on everything. I'm down with that. God, all my fucking money is gone. If you idiots die, I'm gonna be so mad. If you idiots die here, I am going to get ornery. But we will do all upgrades. Do you all have trinkets? We have dodge equipped. Cyberite has low torch damage, which is not going to be the case. So, do we do... I feel like we give Martyr's Seal to Shadow Walker. Yeah, and we just have Shadow Walker be like big crazy tank. We're not going to have you doing melee skills. The Hunter Darkest Dungeon is an action RPG roguelike romance Persona 5-esque tactical sim Moonlighter noir action movie that we are watching in real time. Storming asks, as a literal truck driver, can I claim the position of stagecoach driver from here on? I'll bring you the new interviewees. I'll let you try that out, Storming, yeah. Don't we have a Hellion specific relic? Yes, but it's for low torch, which I don't feel confident playing around yet. We're not doing bleed. I think I just take the stun here. Take the stun. Take the prot. Who cares? Darebrained, yes, you are still alive. Alright, now let's get it. Cyberite, I will bring you in. Are we all in the correct position? We have big heals. I think the Hand of Light's not gonna matter, so I'm gonna teach Sloth. Illumination's gonna be good. Ooh, do I want the stuff? No, I want party heal in case shit goes really sideways. All right, let's provision it up. Provisions are free this week, so I'm bringing 1,000,000 of everything. I'll take your entire stock as long as it doesn't stack. Okay, perfect. And then, oh god, I have to pee super bad. I'll be right back. All right. I mean, my other camera might be charged. I'm just not confident in it, White Tiger. Let me check this shit.
My lofty position wasn't always accompanied by the fear of office.
Well,
And there
my
was a
camera
time
has
when I
not
could walk
been
the streets
accepting
or raise a
charge
glass in the
from
tavern
the
without
thing I
concern
plugged it
for
into.
molestation.
So Tiger, thank you for
Faithful as
suggesting
the
that it was
tide,
charged.
One precocious village waif made it her hobby to shadow
Brigham,
my every
Brigham asks on
errand.
YouTube, I feel like I'm stuck in
was
bracket 3
charming
hell,
then.
where I can only build
Troublesome
basically
later.
upgraded precons. How do I make them stronger without using cards that just make the pod so boring and unfun? Well, Brigham, I wish that was a simple answer, but investigating that requires understanding what cards you think are boring and unfun. There are some universally agreed upon stinkers, like Rhystic Study, But there's a lot of people who, like, there are people that think stacks is fun. There are people that think stacks creates an interesting puzzle for you to solve. There are people that think counter spells are more interesting than just allowing everything to resolve. There are people that think removal is boring and unfun. So we need to understand better. We need to understand more about what do you think is boring that you're trying to avoid. Also, prediction for, I guess this is a B team run. Also, Mega Suits, thank you for that Prime sub, my friend. I appreciate those Bezos bucks. Oh, god damn it, Shadow Walker. Not the Hylamania again. Okay, solid dodge. You fuck-ups. You hopeless fuck-ups in the cove? At 70? At 70. You fucking posers are getting surprised by fish people in the fish people town. You motherfuckers would go to Chuck E. Cheese and get jump scared by a pizza. I swear to God, you assholes. You absolute fuck-ups. Oh God, and I didn't switch Troper's skill off of the bleed thing. Suits, we're not frontlining the dock. So what can happen in this game is your dipshit party, if they are lazy and not paying attention, they can get surprised by the enemy monsters, which will put them out of position. That is what has happened here. We just gotta keep moving Troper to the back. No, I misclicked because I was in such anguish from my Vestal and my Plague Doctor absolutely fucking up. Luckily, Shadow Walker's here to save the day. We're... Oh God, okay. So, chat, we have an opportunity to save a soul right now. Brigham says, I personally like the ramp of green, but the cards that I feel are the strongest, like Branching Evolution or Doubling Season, just make Big Stompy and leave the fun triggers on the back burner. It's critical for you to understand that I say this not from a place of hate, but a place of love. Doubling Season is not good. Doubling Season is a bad card. And especially if you're playing in bracket 3, Doubling Season is only a good card in a pod that never removes anything. And if your pod is still laboring under the delusion that not removing everything, or not removing anything, is more fun, what that says to me is that you guys are probably still in the phase of being commander players where you're just having a good time looking at the decks and not playing the game as a game. Like, Big Stompy can be good. You can definitely get some interactions with Doubling Season where it's crazy. Like, it will never not be fucked up to go, like, ramp with Soul Ring, Llanowar Elves, play Doubling Season turn 4, play a Planeswalker turn 5, and ult them instantly. But if you want to have a good deck, there are a ton of powerful things you can focus on that don't need Doubling Season, or Doubling Season is literally like too slow and doesn't do enough. Can we... Okay, we have to get through these bodies really quick. We don't need to fucking heal anybody, but we're getting semi-cooked just off of the stress levels in this first fight. God, you fuck-ups, man. You hopeless, hopeless idiots.
Press this advantage.
So what I would recommend to you for bracket 3 is if you want to open your eyes to the big wide world of like non-doubling season stuff you could play, try building an aggro deck. Try building a deck that is like swinging out fucking turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, and trying to push damage through sooner. Oh my god, we removed the fucking whatever quirk and not the back-breaking bullshit quirk. Okay, we don't have to fight on this next walk, which is good. We're at 80 for everybody. Oh yeah, play Skullbriar. Let them know with Skullbriar. I did build a Vihan deck that I thought was strong and fun in playtesting, but it wasn't fun since my pod was playing precons. Yeah, that's another fairly big limit, is you can only play so far beyond what your friends are playing before it sucks. That one I don't have a lot of advice about, other than gently encourage your friends to play better. Please rant about how every Codas Fangbearer deck is the same fucking deck. I have played against 40 of them today in Brawl. I'm tired, boss. It does deserve to be studied within the halls of Wizards of the Coast, how you could make a commander that is such an incredible fumble in a 4-player game and such an abominable bastard in the 1v1. Being able to drop just an indestructible Voltron target in Sultai colors in the 1v1 is so hateful. And yet he is so irrelevant as soon as you add anybody else to the game, because you don't get to keep anything you steal, which doesn't matter if you just have to steal enough to kill one person. But this guy cannot become Hellq soon enough, because that's what he deserves to be. You can counter him, but you have to counter him with like exile removal or toughness reduction removal. And it's so easy to just go like, okay, fuck it. Elf turn 1 or ramp turn 2, then I drop an indestructible guy who can block. So indestructible blocker, which is incredibly relevant in the 1v1. Crazy good card advantage over the course of a 1v1. Like, he has a bunch of, it is peak. There's a ton of ways to counter him, but the ways to counter him are incredibly specific, which is a terrible situation for a game mode that doesn't have sideboarding. I mean, Cairo, listen, I'm never going to hear out the argument of like, oh, just draw just draw the piece of interaction that is relevant. It dies to removal is not a relevant argument. The relevant version of the argument is how much removal in the game can hit this thing. By virtue of it being indestructible, that removes a massive swath of removal that's relevant. That matters. Just because there's still removal that you can run that can remove him, like, yeah, hey, like the card doesn't deserve to be banned. They managed to print a card that could be interacted with somehow. That doesn't make it not. Oh, you were referencing Gavin. My fault. I'm a little grumpy. I apologize, Cairo. Yeah, aura removal does work on him if you're one of the 15 nerds playing aura removal. Moderators, put this man in the moon. But yeah, it is. God, this man is rough. Mods turn his ass into a 3/3 elk. Okay. None of them have turns yet left. Good job, Sloth. Good fucking job. Oh my god, a fucking dodge. Rant, what can I do as a deck builder to teach my pod it is okay / encouraged to punch people in the face? Coyote, I think there are a couple schools of thought about specifically how you should do it. What a lot of people do is, and I think this is wrong, they treat their pod like a misbehaving pet, and they try to like rub their face in it to teach them to not do something. So when you go, my pod doesn't understand that they can punch people in the face early, they go, the way to fix this is I'm going to punish them for it. I'm not going to get into what that says about your parents and the relationship you've had in your life with the people you care about, but I am going to say that's not a good pattern to bring into other areas of your life. And instead, what you need to do is you have to jingle keys. You have to show people a better way, and the tough part is you have to make them feel like it's cool to do that. So if you're trying to convince your pod, hey, aggro's cool, you're more likely to do it by playing Arabella than you are by playing combo. Both of them might have the lesson contained within them that like, hey, punching's fine, punching's reasonable. But if you do it with combo, you're making them have less fun to try to punish them into showing the behavior that you want. Versus if you play Arabella, they might go, oh shit, that was kind of nasty. I kind of want to do that. That is the response that you always want people to have if you are trying to get your pod to try new things. You don't want them to have like the reaction of, oh god, now I have to change my deck to stop whatever bullshit Kyle's doing. Sometimes you can get that to work. Most of the time it leads to a less fun overall experience, but what will work way better is to make them go, next week, can I do that? Hand me the deck, actually. Hand me the deck right now. I can be trusted with it. I can be trusted with the creepy doll. Please. And so you can do Arabella. You can do PNLR. But again, we're gonna rip off Rebel Sun for the 18th time or Rebel Lily for the 18th time this stream. As long as the escalation of hostilities is still appropriate, your pod will be like, oh shit, that was fair as fuck, and it actually hosed us. That's kind of nice. Yeah, Neem Pakal is pretty fucked up too. If that's the flavor of Boros aggro you want to do, that's fine. You could do Zergo, Mardu aggro. See, the thing is, like, Arabella with 20 Heir Apparents, Disgruntled, I know you're doing a bit right now, but it's my duty as an educator to point out why that's wrong. If you do Arabella with 20 Heir Apparents, all you're going to teach people is, Jesus Christ, Heir Apparent is a fucked up card. Like, it's not going to feel, when you play Heir Apparents, it's not going to feel like you are perpetuating a reasonable escalation of hostility. People are just going to be like, oh, I hate math. I hate exponential growth so much. Fuck that. Fuck the bunnies, man. I hate Zootopia. Rather than like, oh, wow, aggro's cool. So even though I know you're doing a bit, I must correct it in case this ever gets clipped or ever shown to some impressionable youth who wants to improve the commander that they're playing. Don't do a meme. If you want your table to change, don't try to change them with, here is this really powerful meme deck. because they're just going to go like, oh, that particular interaction is broken, rather than, oh, this archetype is cool. Real Talk Commander Salt says my Mile deck is baseline 4, realistic 2, and that hurts. It is 100% not a 2 by any stretch of the imagination. LMAO, hyper-tuned over 15 years. Well, first consider you might be bad. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you're probably not bad, but also any website that purports to understand what bracket your deck is in is wrong. Fundamentally, always. They might get close. They might even end up matching what you say yourself sometimes. But like as soon as, hey, I realize it's not ChatGPT, but metaphorically, don't have ChatGPT tell you how good your deck is. Never listen to them. They're always lying. All of these deck building websites like Moxfield and Architect and these other fuck ups, I get legitimately angry about this. I spend way too much time thinking about how to have fun. All of these fuck up deck builder sites that are attempting to tell you what bracket your deck is in, and they put like a million different qualifiers on it, which is better than nothing, but still not good enough. They are wrong, and they are actively ruining your experience. Actively fucked up and stupid. Lazav571, thank you for the Prime sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. GD Giant Dwarf, thank you for the 200-bit cheer. Welcome to the dog pile, my friend. We're getting your cheer now, GD. I got you. I came up with the weirdest, dumbest combo. This is alright. We might just skip this cheer. Have Yearlock, Braid of Fire, Assault Suit in play. Song of the Dryad, the Brand of Fire. Tamwo's Tinkering to make it a creature. Remove Song of the Dryad to regain its ability. Equip with Assault Suit, then give it via Harmless Offering. Now they have Forever Braid of Fire they can't sack, and they slowly burn. That is in fact a combo. That is in fact a combination of cards that would result in the consequences you mentioned. DMC, thank you for the 300-bit cheer. I handed my PNLR deck to a friend of mine this week who told me that they thought Impulse Draw was a downside and was a notorious aggro hater, and after playing the deck for a game, they wanted the list. It's possible to teach them. Exactly! That's the beauty that we can achieve when, instead of trying to punish people for not liking the things we like, we just show them how much we have that shit on. Nathiator3, thank you for the 10 gifted community subs, my friend. Welcome to Dog Heaven. I appreciate that generosity from the bottom of my empty heart, my friend. Thank you so much. But GD, send that combo to Veggie Wagon. He will probably make a video about it. I'll send that shit to him. All right, let's see if we can actually kill the Siren. Okay, so we only have Illumination. Let's see if we can fuck up this 3 down. You can hit for 5. That's what I'm fucking talking about, Sloth. Molly Raptor and Marauder, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. Holy shit, Walker. Crazy crits.
Foolish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
GD Giant Dwarf, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Between Timmy, Johnny, and Spike, who do you find most annoying? That's kind of tough because I find Spikes most annoying when they think everybody should be a Spike. A Spike who understands that they're going to be happiest staying in their Spike corner and playing with other Spikes I get along with those people very, very well. What I don't fuck with is when, what I really don't fuck with, honestly, is when out of Timmy, Johnny, or Spike, any of the three who think that every other person should be the same as them is fucking dumb. Like, any Timmy that thinks everybody else should be a Timmy, fuck you. If you're a Johnny who thinks everybody else should be a Johnny, or if you're a Johnny, yeah, I'll say by default, Johnny has the highest annoyance floor. Because Johnnies almost always, I have never personally interacted with a Johnny who did not fall victim to the belief that other people thought something was cool just because they did. I think that is the pitfall that every Johnny player falls into. It's one thing to really, really enjoy your own decks, to really enjoy your own combos. I have never successfully interacted with a Johnny without them info dumping Johnny stuff on me and immediately expecting me to think it was equally as cool as they did. I do my level fucking best to match energy and not be rude and try to mirror excitement if I see that you care about stuff. But they Johnnies have consistently, when I've interacted with them, pushed the hardest about it and never been able to take off ramps to talk about other stuff. Like, I try, Lord have mercy. So I'll say Johnnies have the highest annoyance floor. Alec, man, you're absolutely allowed to resent it. However, I do know I'm right. But I think, like, when it comes to real life experience, I have met way more Spikes that were able to have good games with Timmys with powered down decks than I've met zero Johnnies that were able to, like, restrain the Johnniness even a little bit. It's always like, here's this 4-card combo. It is the coolest shit ever. Why aren't you clapping? And I'm down for this is the coolest thing ever. I'm down for people to love what they love and have it not be the stuff that I love. I've never met a Johnny who was in the moment able to effectively restrain the why aren't you clapping part. And that's always what gets me. And I probably will at some point in my life, and then I'll feel differently. But for where I am right now, it's just always been like, the why aren't you clapping just never doesn't happen. Hunter, Johnny is a broad Magic the Gathering term for somebody whose favorite part of the game is coming up with, like, unusual or lesser known combos. So it's like 5-card win the game combos, like loops that don't win the game, yada yada yada. Who's the Johnny that hurt you personally? Multiple. What we need to watch out for is the Johnny that doesn't hurt me. That's what I need. I need the Johnny who's gonna not hurt me.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Oh, goddammit, I misclicked. Fucking pain, dude. Oh, huge crit. Yeah, Johnnies are crab rave people. GD Giant Dwarf, thank you for the 200-bit cheer. Sorry I'm Johnny and also have the tism. Most Johnnies do, probably. You are good. You are good, GD Giant Dwarf. Thank you for that contribution to the dog pile. And I'm totally with excitement about the interaction. The only part that drags on my patience is when is if it gets into this like incessant, don't you also think this is the greatest thing ever? Because I can mask for a little while. I can only do it for so long.
Destroy them all.
Let me put Noxious Blast up in here. Maybe this will reduce stress. I hate it here. I'm so dumb. Okay. So that's a damage buff. And I put it on the one person who does the least damage. That's so chill. Is it a Timmy deck that focuses on a mechanic rather than a creature? For example, a room deck or an imprint deck? It totally can be. I think it's also important to understand Timmy, Johnny, Spike is kind of like a big, vague Venn diagram that can cover the magic space. It is not a Hogwarts sorting hat. It is not going to like always place your deck into, oh, thank you, Trap. It's not going to always place your deck into like a hard, this is where you belong and how you play Magic. It's like gender, it's a spectrum. Exactly, and I'm going to keep looking at chat instead of look at the orb we just walked by. Censorship, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. I appreciate those Bezos bucks for the second month in a row. Fuck, I thought this looped, dude. Oh, I'm so sad. I did not check this whole map, and I was like, oh, surely this is a big hyperloop, and I will be able to go around and, oh, fucking ass. Okay, well, let's get the stress generator out first. I thought we did do the prediction. Hold on. Yeah, we did the prediction. We have 64% on victory, 7% on wipe, 29% on retreat and firing. We've moved the Plague Doctor skill.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Boner Boy, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. Hunter, Timmy and Spike is, Timmy is somebody who just wants to, like, play a big card they think are cool. For Timmy, think like dinosaur players who every turn they just go, I play a dinosaur.
Gently.
That motherfucker's dope. That's a Timmy. Spike is they only want to play the very best cards and the very best combo, and they care the most about, like, effectiveness and winning. Rant Redeem, what are your thoughts on building legendary alchemy cards as commanders? I'm working on a Tajik Legion's Valor deck, and I'm willing to put in the extra effort to make it happen. Broadly, I fucking hate alchemy. Unfortunately. I realize... This looks like a boss. What? Okay. Herm. That seems inappropriate. Oh, and this bitch has blight resist. Thank you, baby. Can I have my guy back? Oh, I can't even target them either. Oh, that's fucked, dude. Sloth, we didn't forget to camp. I genuinely did not think I was going to find the boss yet. Well, we're transforming. We're going wolf. Arwen Spence, probably the custom card redeem is the best way to share your art with us, and then you can just post the art and we'll just appreciate it as art rather than worrying about it being anything else. Devour seems kind of fucked up. I really don't want to kill my Helion in case I get them back ever.
Masterfully executed.
Okay, we're up to 12 blight around. That's meaningful. High tide. Don't float all that blue mana. Motherfucker. Solid dodge, thank you. Okay, solid 15. These waters are my home now. God, Walker, we're gonna have a fucking talk. We're gonna have a fucking talk. Okay, we got them back. Okay, okay. I am now very glad that I did not commit a bunch of fucking damage to my Hellion. More blight. 18 blight around. That's my fucking hero. Charge. Walker, you relentless fuck up. You relentless fuck up. Riffle Dupes, thank you for the 50 bits. Walker saw fish tits and it was over. Yep. So I swear to shit, bro. Okay, solid dodge. Perpetually tired, thank you for the 50 biddies. Okay, Abomination, now transform back an Absolution. It doesn't seem like that's what they're doing. I'm sorry, do I not get a turn? When the fuck is my turn? What the fuck? This game sucks, bro. Fuck this game. This motherfucker is on their, like, 4th turn of the round. Thank you, Sloth. Judge that guy. Fucking idiot. Oh my god. Fuck that monster. I don't even give a shit about these stones. We'll use the bandages and then dump them. Piece of shit game, dude. Put this sandwich in your wounds. All right, we're fucking camping here.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
We could go back for the Shambler. I am not totally convinced. The thing is, I'm not totally convinced that we have the stress dollars to make this happen. Like, I think we just have to revel and then self only. Yeah. We are full HP. We are full HP. We might be able to go for it. Go for it. And we can use the herbs to get rid of the revel hangover.
The darkness holds much worse than
God damn it. God. Troper, please stop. Please stop rushing to the front. Zoria, why would I use an ability to prevent ambushes when you, as the party, should just lock the fuck in? I should... That's like being like, hey man, maybe don't slip raw chicken onto the dinner plates for our guests. I shouldn't have to tell you that. I shouldn't have to instruct you to do that. That's obvious. You should be doing it yourself. You should just be unambushable all the time. Zap that guy, Sloth. Thank you. Thank you.
annihilated.
Why won't you just buy adult diapers? Why don't you just not shit your pants? Exactly, Gertie. You get it. Poro gets it. Mauled, why do you do this to me? Because I'm a little stinker. I'm a little stinker. No. Alright, moderators, body shame this thrall.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Alright, we're leaving. I am not willing, on a success, I am unwilling to commit any more fucking stress economy to this team. Okay, we got a lot of stuff at least. Do we have compulsive walker? God damn. Okay, scattering's fine because I really only care about blight for you. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Thanks for getting me a shiny new present, boss. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn welcome, DMC.
The degeneracy of the hamlet is nothing, I fear, when compared to the condition of surrounding
Then I think
acres.
feather, crystal... Oh no, I think we give you both, and then we just put the scouting and trap disarm on somebody else. So we definitely have to take... Who's the... Is it Walker? Yeah, we cannot have you fucking up like this. Take Hylomania out. God, I feel like I'm gonna keep needing to do like quirk reduction. Okay, we can't do experienced recruits yet. Can we get our smithing up? No, but we can cost reduce. And then I gotta get more deeds to cost reduce. I feel like I wanna be all in on cost reduction. So I need portraits and deeds. We also have to hit a manual ad break again, so I'll be right back. Oh, and we have to do additional custom cards. You don't care about how it affects chain damage? Not really. It's also 5%. It's like a thing where I can fix it later if I have to, but if the chain deals 5 damage instead of 6 damage, I truly do not give a fuck. I do not give a single solitary fuck. Tired, thank you for coming by the stream, my friend. So we're getting some more level 3s. We're building up the A-team. Sloth did good. And Cyberite did good. We'll put you in the meditation zone. Troper also needs a little bit of stress for... Oh my god, Troper. Never mind. Get in the padded cell. That's not true, by the way. Does a custom card need to have art to be reviewed? I assume no, but making sure. No, it does not. Thank you for checking, but don't need to have art. Troper has only ever asked how to be worse. Yeah, I mean, Alec, the thing is, the only skill I care about the damage on is Blight, and I feel like the 5% might reduce like the on-hit damage, but it's not going to reduce the amount that it poisons in my head, so that's why I don't particularly mind. Alright, let's get into some custom cards. We have Maya's cards, and then we have Elikman's cards. We have Maldegar, Houndagon, Evil Twin, Abzan 1/3, Mango! Tap, create Mango, a legendary 1/1 warrior with sacrifice Mango. Target creature gains death touch until end of turn. Smash or pass. You may exert this creature as it attacks. When you do, it fights another target creature. When this card dies this turn, return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. Right, I forgot to move the monitor. So here's Evil Twin. And it transforms into Roastmaster. So we get all 5 colors. 2/2 with Prowess Haste. Whenever Maulhound becomes tapped, you may draw a card, then discard a card. You may tap it to goad a target creature. It gains Menace until end of turn. So one, thank you so much. This is very sweet. Two, I feel like we went all in on flavor at the expense of making it playable. Which is always tough when we're trying to do custom commander cards. Yeah, like DMC, when you did your custom cards for like me, Beeps, and Z, those were really good at, they did some flavor and they were, very importantly, extremely playable. This was all for the dumbass Black Bolt name thing, NGL. Thank you, Mayas. Thank you, Mayas. Become banned. Rotten hell. Also, can we get some claps in chat for Mango, who is in the chat right now and has edited a ton of videos for us this week. We have the Game Changer video coming out later today, and then we have another roast video coming out over the weekend. So thank you, Mango, for all your terrifically hard work. And get the fuck back in the basement. Jesus Christ. Absolutely embarrassing. Review your custom card, no AI art from Soulstorming. Thank you. Nathiator, listen, you gifted 10 subs. We will for sure give you a custom card redeem for free. Listen, my love can be purchased, and you unknowingly have already bought it. You have already bought one jug of mauled love. Oh yeah, let's pay out the prediction. That was victory. That was overwhelming victory. That boss was actually much easier than I thought it was going to be. And then storming, yeah, your prediction is for Nath. Sounds good. Will, are you saying read one of your books? Because that's going to be a little bit. Maul, if I tip $50, can I get you to review 10 cards out of my deck? Can we do a 10th? Can we do a 10th of a deck roast? I'm gonna say no. We cannot parcel out my genius. Alec, man, thank you for the 2 gifted subs, my friend. Welcome to Dog Heaven. All right, we're moving on to Alec Man's. Here's my first cycle of Dragonlord Servant Partners. You challenged me to do an MTG original creation, and when thinking of ideas, I reflected on my disappointment that we never truly got to see the fall of the Dragonlords in Tarkir Dragonstorm, which is unfortunate. While I don't like what the Dragonlords did to the clans in the lore of Tarkir, I thought they at least deserved a proper on-screen send-off. The Dragonlords and their servants having a true last stand to represent their final battle against ascendant rebelling clans before and after the Storm Nexus ritual. The Dragonlords themselves will get their last stand versions one day, but I wanted to make commanders themed around their servants and those loyal to them. I started with Silumgar for obvious reasons, but, and then I covered up the screen. I might add 1 or 2 that add in the enemy color that completes each Tarkir clan's color wedge identity for lore reasons. So we have Karata, Silumgar Enforcer, 4 mana 2/5, Silumgar Retainer, which is a specific partner mechanic, Menace, Exploit, when Karata exploits a creature. When Karata exploits a creature, it counts as an edict. Whenever a player sacrifices a creature, create a tapped treasure token. I believe that is probably too good to then give partner to. This being like Pitiless Plunderer effect in the command zone is begging for this to go infinite. I think you could restrict it a little bit by making it opponent sacrifices a creature. But I'm just thinking like, God, give this Orzhov by itself. Give this Orzhov by itself and just do some type of like blink stuff and you go pseudo infinite pretty quickly. Oh, it's a tap treasure. Okay, yeah, I missed that. Is tapped treasure enough? Yeah, so it won't go infinite like Plunderer. I feel like giving it... Oh, compare Negan? That's a good... Okay, so for 5 mana, we're getting an untapped treasure on opponents. So for 4 mana, we get a tapped on anybody. So we've really just upped this to being a 3-card infinite rather than, or we've put one additional card onto the infinite scale, which matters, right? That's not nothing. I guess let's do what I never do for Elikman, and let's look at this in context of what else you can get. You can get Mogai Silumgar Noble, who's a 4-mana 1/2, which, when it ETBs, if you control a dragon, steal something for as long as you control a dragon. Whenever a dragon enters, if you don't control a creature you don't own, steal something for as long as you control a dragon. That seems pretty fair. That seems like a pretty normal theft effect with a decent gate on it, and a decent way to make sure that it does happen. Oh, right, but we could just flicker... If we just flicker her, it does become steal whole board for as long as we control a dragon. I think as far as Displacer Kitten combos go, that's not, like, that's a God I hate Displacer Kitten and less of a God I hate this card. There's also his Mala Silumgar Sorcerer, 3-mana 1/3 with double exploit. Whenever you exploit a creature, exile it and draw a card. For 4 mana, make a token copy of a creature card exiled with his Mala, except it's legendary and a zombie. I think the legendary is a pretty good handbrake on this, not being able to just value copy one really good thing over and over and over. Yeah, so I'm looking at these two and I'm seeing some, like, you steal, you sack, you get a tap treasure. We also have Zathi, the Infallible, 4-mana 2/4, Death Touch exploit. When exploits, target creature gets -X/-X, where X is the number of creatures that died this turn. When Zathi dies, if it was attacking, return it to the battlefield. Or Ciara the Dragon's Mouth, AO. 3-mana 0/4, has a hexproof as long as you control a dragon. Dragon spells you cast have Conspire, which means you can tap untapped creatures you control to copy it. The copy's not legendary. I think limited to Dimir, that is not... that's not totally unreasonable. I think Zathi's probably fine. I don't know. Like, I think a lot of the reassembling skeleton... Is this instant speed or... that is instant speed. So we could conceivably loop it. Like, I feel like there's some type of broken... Like, there's some type of infinite or pseudo-infinite combo that we can get out of these, but I'm not convinced that it's more fucked up than anything else the Dimir combo crackheads are doing. Because, like, I think if I exploit something, it gets to be an edict. Or actually, really, what's fucking me off about this is this is 4 mana, make 4 mana. That is the keystone falling into place of why I'm like, why I'm shaking my head about this. Is even though it's tapped and so you don't get the mana immediately, this is if I have a creature and then I cast my commander, I generate 4 treasure tokens. Yeah, because we have Plunderer. Oh yeah, and Edicts would just be mana positive. Ooh, like, even if we do it tapped so that it's not immediately infinite, I do not feel good about printing a card that says, well, I guess Negan already says Shoal Shatter. Like, that bridge has already been burnt. Because we just have we just have Negan making Edicts treasure positive. So that part's alone not fucked up. The first draft let opponents choose. They'd sack a creature and you'd get a zombie, or you draw and make a treasure. I think so. I think I would like that choice better. I like Mogai. Your opponent gets the choice to kill Negan immediately, though, don't they? No, White Bread. So when Negan comes in, you and target opponent each secretly choose a creature that player controls. I interpret that as that your enemy controls, like it's just one-sided. If you can't just choose Negan, then yes, this is much, much weaker. I do not believe it's you kill... I don't believe it's you trade things. It's you each choose a creature. Like, if you play this and you name the opponent as, like, I pick John. You pick one of John's creatures. John picks one of John's creatures. You reveal them. If you pick the same, they only sack 1. But if you pick differently, now John has to sack 2 things. It is not I pick one of John's creatures and John picks one of my creatures. If they didn't sack a creature, you just got a treasure, but it wasn't tapped. I don't play enough aristocrats to be super confident about that. But anyway, Mogai I will sign off on. I think there's enough failure points to make this card reasonable. Asmala I think is probably fine as well. Zathi I think is... I'll say this. I think Zathi is probably boring. Not the design space you're operating in, but I think that the play patterns of Zathi end up sucking because she's like a very, very poor damage threat and just does a ton of board control. Yes, bring back the choice effect for Karada's Edict. And then Ciara I like. I think Ciara is plenty fair for Dimir. I think this can get... Ciara can get pretty fucked up once you start putting her in the 99 of 5-color dragon decks, but as long as Ciara is like in the command zone, I'm not worried. Kind of the opposite problem that Braids has. Okay, next we have Andronicus's card, A Father's Curse. 6 mana Mardu. enchanted player makes 2/3/3 red human clown noble race car creature tokens. 2. Enchanted player makes a 0/6 and a 3/3. If enchanted player controls a cleric, each creature they control fights another creature they control. Otherwise, that player loses half their life, rounded up. This is like pretty bad, if I'm reading it correctly. I think this is far too weak for 6 mana, because this is a 6 mana 3-turn payoff to make 3/3s kill each other. Like, the reason Azuri's Predation is playable at all is that you get 4/4s to fight. But having a bunch of 3/3s duke it out, best case scenario, this definitely reads like a lore reference. But yeah, the person who cast this gets to choose which things fight. So probably the person who cast it is not going to throw it away on having everything fight the 0/6. But at best case scenario, but the floor, what you can guarantee happens is you can remove 1 9 toughness creature for 6 mana and 3 turns, which is quite weak. Versus, like, if you shoot the cleric, losing half your life, maybe that's appropriate. So this is like 6 mana total. Do it to anybody. Do it to anybody with no wait time. 6 mana, do it to anybody, no wait time. Havoc Festival, 6 mana, do it to everybody, little bit of wait time. So I think this is definitely too much on the weekend. The idea is that the turns mean your opponents have time to remove your clerics. Why would you ever cast this on yourself, though? Like, this reads to me as something you would only ever cast on an enemy. And so in the context of casting it on your enemy, like, it's so expensive that you don't have to give them time, is what I'm saying. Like, the standards for the comparables for I want to make somebody lose half their life is I can spend 6 mana and just do it. I do not have to fix all these pips. I do not have to give you a way to avoid it, and I do not have to put the onus on myself to overcome that hurdle. I literally just get to do it. And for the, like, fighting another creature they control, for 2 more mana than this, I can Ruinous Ultimatum and blow up everybody's everything. And so you've done the double dip thing, but instead of it being like a 50% power life loss effect and a 50% power board wipe effect, we're on like a 10% of each. And so we're ending up with 20% instead of 100% power. I do like a Saga Curse. That's cool. And as Storming says, it's worth noting, the 6 mana lose half cards are unplayably bad. They suck. But I do think the idea of a Saga Curse is cool. Next we have Keon with fixed syntax. With Volta Iron Tusk, 3 mana, 3/4 with trample. Mount up. When attacked, she may share any keyword she has upon her with one other attacking creature not named Fena Novacul, Paladin of the Stormlord. If we Volta Iron Tusk and Fena Novacul attack together with no other creatures attacking, they share all keywords they have with each other and both get +2/+1 until end of combat. Depending on Fena's type line and keywords, probably possible. This does just read as like big stompy soup. Big stompy soup. Boar. So I will tentatively approve it and then revisit it with the stat line on Fena. Oh yeah, and you gotta put partner on this bitch for sure. We have Zoria's next redeemed, the Beguiling Siren, 3 mana Dimir 2/2 with boss. Creatures you control but do not own have Skulk. At the beginning of your upkeep, gain control of target creature with mana value less than or equal to the Beguiling Siren's power. Until the beginning of your next turn, it gains haste. Yes, perfect. I like that. Super down. Super down. Good job. I'm proud of you. Eternal Dark 866. Thank you for that Prime sub, my friend. I appreciate those Bezos bucks. Welcome back to the dog home. Yeah, you do have to untap it, I think. At the beginning of upkeep, get creature, get haste, untap it. Okay, next from Nathiator, we have Decaying Exikes. 6 mana 5/6 with flying Rot 1. Rot, when this creature deals... Rot is a keyword that is templated as Rot N. When this creature deals combat damage to a player, put a -1/-1 counter on each of up to N target creatures that player controls. So on combat damage, we get to put a -1/-1 counter on things. Creatures that have lower power and or toughness than their base power or toughness have decayed. Rot, I would almost let you cook. This second paragraph is sending you straight to the Hague, and they are not going to be happy, brother. It is so easy to put like a blanket effect on that, where the outcome just becomes nothing gets to happen. Like we do, it is a cool idea, and mixing in Rot is a cool idea. However, you have to think about the smell. When you are designing a card, you have to think about what is the natural consequence of somebody attempting to build around this. And if somebody expressly attempts to build around this effect, all that's going to happen is they're going to bum rush, putting a -1/-1 effect on everything, and then nobody's ever gonna swing again because everybody will just lose all their creatures. So like first, you ban dorks. You ban mana dorks, you ban low power toughness utility creatures, and the second thing that happens is the commander game slows to a crawl because nobody's willing to swing anything. So immediate jail, but I like the Rot counters. Next we have Carmen, Voice of the City from Eris. 5 mana Grixis commander. 4/7 Ward 2. As long as you control 2 or fewer other horrors, Carmen is not a creature. At the beginning of your end step and whenever Carmen attacks, choose 1. Return a double-faced creature from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Exile target creature you control, then return it transformed. If the exiled creature had a finality counter on it, it enters with a finality counter. I do not think this second effect works the way you want it to. I believe finality counters say if they would leave the battlefield, they're just gone forever. Oh, that's lifelink. Oh, finality counters say die. Okay, so it does work how we want it to. Nathiator, thank you for the 5 additional gifted community subs. You climb ever higher in dog heaven, my friend. I appreciate that. Okay, so if the finality counters work how we want it to, I think that works. I'd be willing to let you cook with this. I think the most boring part of this card would just be like, finally, double-faced creatures have a home, and there's only going to be like 15 good ones in the game, and so your deck just becomes those 15 good cards, or you do Nagathrod for horrors. But I think the design is acceptable. Good job. Underrepresent. I mean, so Eris, I don't mean valid ones. I mean ones that don't suck nuts. That's what I'm talking about. Like there might be 260 creatures that transform, but if we're gonna, but I mean it's like a Minotaur situation where it's like, yeah, Minotaurs are underrepresented. Yeah, there might be 70 Minotaurs you could play in Magic the Gathering. 4 Minotaurs is worth more than a moment of your time. Or I guess are worth more than a moment of your time. Alright, we have one more card before we can finally do some goddamn dungeoneering. The Mad Mage of Sevendor from Dungeon Masters Consortium. 6 mana. Is it 4/6 with prowess? At the beginning of your end step, choose one at random. Mad Mage phases out. Search your library for an artifact card, put it onto the battlefield. Nope. Search your library for an instant or sorcery, reveal it, put it into your hand, create 5 tapped treasure tokens. What? This is the most, like, impossible to politic card I have seen in my life. And that is saying something. That is, like, immediately unplayable. Immediately unplayable. I would never trust anybody in the world to play this as their fucking commander. This is... Nugget, you could put a 5th option that is you lose the game instantly. It's still not balanced because you just have to shoot it every time because you don't know what the result is going to be until the trigger happens. And if you let it live for them to search for an artifact, you're just fucked instantly. Yeah, and putting the prowess. I saw like 4/6 with prowess, and I was like, oh my god, this card can kind of beat ass. The text is probably going to be reasonable, and that was not true. Oh, Girthy Poro, thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs, my friend. Welcome to Dog Heaven. I appreciate that generosity very, very much. And Bad Floof, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Welcome to the dog pile. Yeah, if we made... What you could do is if you wanted to do if we wanted to do some type of like conditional thing, you could do a roll like but rolling a die, but you would have to do like 1d20 add the Mad Mage of Sevendor's power. 1 through 10 is Mad Mage phases out. 11 through 17 is make 5 tapped treasures. Even that should probably start at like 15 or higher, but it should probably be... No, this effect is so fucking powerful that if you did roll d20, add Mad Mage's power, nobody in their right fucking mind would make it a dice roll deck. Everybody would just make it a ramp into Mad Mage of 7-door deck and then try to buff them. Like, the effect is so unhinged that it's instantly broken. And we can, for random chance of it either fucking off or get something of varying levels of good, that we are running afoul of the Rebel video we need to rip off again. Or you can reference any of the Salubrious Snails video, any of the Salubrious Snails videos. It's supposed to be unhinged and random chance for lore reasons, TBH. That starts to get into like cool sentence, terrible card for me. If it is that way because of a lore reason, you can both be correct, and those cards I typically think should not exist in Magic. Because like most of these effects just go, I get 5 extra treasure tokens next turn, you probably win, or you should win. I get to search for any instant or sorcery and put it into my hand, maybe I can win. I get to tutor any artifact to field, I better fucking win. Or phase out, nothing happens. It just makes it... It's so impossible to predict. And while that is good for flavor reasons, that falls apart the moment you're supposed to be like playing this as a game with other people. So I would make it like... So I would really recommend doing the like roll d20 on range, get a benefit, and then you just make the like the tinker effect be like a straight up fucking 25. Make it literally impossible to get the turn you play him, and then you can begin playing an actual game of Magic with this card. If searching your library for an artifact and putting it onto field is 25 and up, then it becomes playable, because then you can actually tell people like, hey, I'm not going to 6 mana Portal to Phyrexia. And then we actually have a stew going. Because it's like, if it's 1 through 12, 1 through 14, 1 through 15 is phase out, a lot of people can be normal about that. And then if it's like a low chance that you get 5 tap treasures, it's still strong, but people won't be like, oh, they just immediately win the game. And then if it's like 18 through 20 on the die constitutes you tutor an instant or sorcery, I think that's really good, but you can still work around. It should not be DC 30 Tinker is legitimately too high. DC 30 Tinker is straight up, I have to trigger prowess 6 times and I have to roll an at 20. Tinker is good, Tinker is not that good. So I think the effects are okay, but they have to be gated so that we have some type of reasonable escalation. Because otherwise we're just playing Russian roulette. A Ghost Avian, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. It's goddamn Uncrustable time. And then because Girthy Poro gifted 5 subs, we will do them custom card as well. It's a Thanksgiving gift to one of their TTRPG players. They have posted an art source with this, so it is not AI art. Beatriz, the Blooming Thorn, a 4-mana 3/3 with Vigilance and Mentor. Whenever you attack, any number of target creatures defending player controls must block this turn. If able, those creatures get -1, -0. I think that's okay. If we begin comparing it to cards like Odric that can control blockers, this doesn't get to control how those blocks happen. They just get to control that they are blocking. Unfortunately, Antifreeze is totally correct that this is an absolute fucking heater for banding. Absolutely fucking insane for banding. Go off. So for this one, I approve. Probably a bit weak for building around. Because if you do this as... If you try to do this as Voltron, you're going to run into the same problem that every Voltron deck runs into, which is, oh god, they shot my hot white woman. What do I do now? And if you build it as not Voltron, I'm not even sure. You could do weenies, I guess. Let me look at what Mentor does specifically. Placing a 1/1 counter, 1/1 counter on a smaller creature. Yeah, you could do some type of weenie game plan, and you could like eventually windmill slam in Elish Norn, and that would be like your big finisher. Is okay, all my blocks are good, and now you have to block. So maybe, but I think it would be a little tough to build the deck. Oh shit, my bad, Troper. Troper, thank you for the 216 bits. And with this, I'm officially over 10,000 bits submitted. Cheers, and let's stop vamping to get back into the meat grinder. Also, play Library of Ruina next game, you coward. Troper, congratulations on your new biddy badge. I appreciate all of your contributions to the dog pile very much. And Bad Floof, if I missed yours, thank you so much for those 100 bits. I will consider Library of Runa, but again, we have to do Darkest Dungeon. We have to do Darkest Dungeon 2. We have to do Darkest Dungeon 3, which is my Wattpad fanfic of Darkest Dungeon. We got a lot going on. Okay, fucking game time. Game time. What's the event this week? No event. Let's see what quests we have. Ooh, 20% damage. Can we... I think we have the members. Do we fuck with the Fulminating Prophet? Ooh. I don't know if we can fuck with the Prophet, because we do not have a second... We have DMC... But then we have the Antiquarian. Oh, we have Duke and Scamp. We can. Okay. Fuck the Antiquarian. Yeah, we have Girthy Poro. Riffle Dupes, thank you for the 50-bit. You forgot a second DD1 stream to cover the DLC. Right, we have so much shit to do. So we have DMC, who's all kitted out. We have Girthy Poro, who has good items. We have Duke and Scamp, who's got some stuff. And then we've got Crazy Moose, who's a good tank. So I think we take this team and we fuck up the veteran mission. Can we level anybody further? No. Okay. DMC, thank you for the 500-bit cheer. If we beat this, do I get raided by you after your stream? I start streaming at 4 p.m. CST. I have no idea when that is. I will consider it. But just for that, you're going in with no provisions. That's in an hour. I don't know if I'll still be live in an hour, quite frankly. My neck has been crazy fucked up the last couple days, and so I'm trying to spend more time improving my health. Riffle Dupes, thank you for the 150-bit cheer. I'm just saying I'm sure Antiquarian would help with this boss. I am sure that you are a goddamn liar. This is medium, so let's get a lot of torches, let's get a lot of food. Now I think the thing is we are going to have to be kind of like... We're going to have to do antiquarian missions soon. Stormblast, would you ever consider some sort of 12-hour or 24-hour stream challenge thing? I don't think I would consider it as just like... If I could get enough viewers to be invested enough and I felt the bits were good enough, 12-hour streams are a definite possibility. And when I say viewers are good enough, I'm talking about like if I was holding 4-digit viewers, I would be very motivated to do that stream for like 12 hours for sure. For 24 hours and beyond, I probably wouldn't want to do those unless I was specifically doing a subathon, and there would still be a cutoff time. Like a thing I have to be very very aware of is that streaming is one of the worst things I can do career-wise. See, and now you've caught me monologuing, so now we're gonna go back into MS Paint. I don't want to save this work. But if we look at the graph of like success over investment. So this is, I'll call this F for effort. So if effort's here, and then we'll call money here, because like there's fulfillment, but I like all of the things that I'm doing, and so all of the, oh red, I can't see the graph. So all of the things that I'm doing make me happy in some way. I enjoy them from a creative standpoint. I like doing the boss bit. I like looking at your custom cards. I like roasting decks, and so all of them make me happy. But if we look at like what is a good career choice, if we do red is going to be skits. We'll do red for skits. We'll do green for long form video. And we'll do purple. Even though YouTube chat, you are here, I'm just going to call purple for Twitch. For skits, for me, the return has actually been like pretty good. It's like a pretty relatively straight line of the more skits I'm able to put out, the more effort I put into making those skits good, the better they do, and the bigger the return for me on like fame and how much I get paid. Now, because the pay rate for shorts is way, way worse than long form, if we look at long form, that tends to take a little bit more effort until it begins to get good. But then once it's good, it makes a fair bit more money. And so if I was a very successful long form creator, I would make a lot more money than if I was a pretty successful short form creator. And we probably have to like rotate these lines a little bit to be true to life. I kind of gave them I made the slopes too high off rip. For Twitch, it sucks, 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 it sucks. I'm a millionaire. Like everything, and hey, guess what? I'm not a millionaire right now. Now you guys, especially recently, as we have done the dog pile bits, as we have done dog heaven, all that stuff, you guys have been extremely generous. I don't know other people's Twitch incomes. I believe that I am way better off than most other Twitch creators at my current level of viewership. That said, at any time before I am like a constant 4-digit audience creator, the return on Twitch is just like really, really bad. So even though I like it, there's always the thought in the back of my mind of like, I spent 4 hours streaming today. I probably like, it would have been directly more beneficial to my career if I had spent 4 hours coming up with and executing a short form video. Or it would have been better to spend 4 hours working on a long form video, even if the long form video wasn't ready for like a week or multiple weeks. Twitch I just do because I love it. I love it very much. And I am privileged and lucky enough that my income is stable enough for me to be able to spend my time investing effort into Twitch rather than only pouring effort into skits and long form. But Twitch is like, is rough. You have to be in it for the love of the game. Natural growth on Twitch is really, really hard. I would bet like 98% of my audience came to their first Twitch stream of mine because they saw me talk about it in a short, or they saw me on Twitch and went like, I recognize that guy from shorts, so I'll click in. There is some mild overlap with the Twitch and long form though, isn't there? Some of the deck roasts and set reviews get condensed down into vids for YouTube. That's another way that I'm trying to make the Twitch more reasonable. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer, my friend. I'm the 2% that saw you on Shuffle Up and Play and specifically searched you out, and God bless you for that. But Hamber, an important thing to consider with the Twitch and long form though is it is only very recently that any of the deck roasting videos made me any money. For the time scale that they have existed, most of the deck roast videos have been and still are net financial losses when I go through and I track my expenses, because I have to pay for the editing of them. Like, as much as I joke about Mango being in a basement, I do in fact pay my editor. So they're starting to do well enough that I can be like, not even confident of like, oh, these are going to make some money, but like reasonably confident that like over a month or two, these are going to pay for themselves. These are going to like justify their existence as a YouTube video based on the ad revenue they make. So the deck roastings, the fact that the deck roastings are streamed are single-handedly justifying my existence as a Twitch streamer. If those were not delivered via stream, I probably wouldn't be a streamer. Or I would want to be, but I wouldn't be able to be a streamer. Maltown, just so you know, I started watching your stuff on YouTube, but you are the reason I got a Twitch account. Well, Stormblast, thank you. I appreciate that very much. So yeah, deck roast vids are huge, have been huge, but those are not up here. Those are like, I remember popping off because we had like 2 deck roast videos in a row that were net 0. That was like a big day, is getting 2 videos go back to back. Oh, I'm going to make $3. Hell yeah. Versus everything else, it's like, okay, this one lost $100. This one lost $80. And I viewed those as investments in an audience. I was like, I am paying money to make these exist in the belief that there are people out there who want to watch them, and that as I continue posting them, that audience will grow, and then they will begin actually like paying something. No Kickstarter update yet, Alec man. All right, guys, what if we did a dungeon? Much, Eris, yes. It turns out more price increase equal more money equal much less stress. Yeah, Wilson, I am full time.
To be silenced, but doing so proved maddeningly impossible. How had he survived?
If you keep talking, I don't die. So Tiamat, what's eventually going to happen? Oh, Soulstorming, hit me with that rant redeem, and I'll let you know if I just chuck that shit into the void. What's eventually going to happen is the deck roasting is going to become a like scripted showcase thing rather than just a live stream thing, where I'm going to spend more time on the upgrades. I'm going to spend more time coming up with bits for your specific deck, and it is my hope and belief that they will be funnier and more fulfilling, but that is going to cost more money. We're getting special like 3D visual sets developed for it so that I can kind of green screen, think like a Daily Show-esque background just out of the green screen for it. And so that's gonna go up on Kickstarter as, here is how much it needs to make for this to pay the editors, pay the visual effects artists, and have it be like a reasonable thing for me to focus all of my time on for a few months. Think of it like seasons of shuffle up and play. That's kind of what the Kickstarter is going to be for. Yeah, last deck tonight with John Maldhound. Thank you, Joe Cherries, for giving me the title that I'm going to steal. Storming's Rant. What is your personal beef with Planeswalkers? I don't get the hate. In my experience, they have only ever made games less interesting, and I dislike when people lie badly. As an avowed and dedicated liar, I love trickery. I love trying to trick people. I love being a nasty little sneak, a silly little cheat. Planeswalkers introduce the illusion of choice, and I hate the illusion of choice. I want either the choices to matter, or I want you to like lie better, versus Planeswalkers make for long turns where people are hemming and hawing over choices that don't matter when there is an obviously good one, and they just act like they're King Solomon trying to navigate like a big Mesopotamian corporate merger, when it's really just like, I don't know, dog, scry 2 and draw your fucking card. We got Wendy's to go to. In the 1v1, fuck them. In the 1v1, I think they are in just very game warping in ways that are really boring for me to play into. What if Planeswalker is the only spell type in the deck? That's worse. That's strictly worse. Yeah, I don't necessarily dislike the design space of Planeswalkers, but I dislike the play pattern that is created by all of them. Okay, fuck yeah, Crazy Treasure. I think this is like Dungeon 3, Jomi. Also, Troper, thank you for the 84 bits. I like your funny words, Magic Man. Appreciate that. Holy shit, we got a surprise. We have Prot, so we have to blight this fucking guy. I wonder if Prot works on, like, spell damage. It does. Okay. Oh yeah, DMC's been here from the beginning. So DMC is still cooking it up. I think we just stun one of these guys. Hawkmeister, no WoW stream tomorrow because our characters died. Last week, so we are leveling up off stream to try to get through it faster. Grant Redeem, thoughts on online MTG platforms not having the Marvel arts, but getting a mechanically identical set with different art. That just seems like uber reasonable corporate garbage to me. Like, yeah, the corporation wanted to be greedy. They didn't want to pay to get the licensing to put the other IP into the online platform as well as the offline platform. I don't necessarily like it, but I can totally understand why they did it to make the numbers work better. Oh, god damn it. Hold on. I hate you, Discord. There we go. What I got was a Discord notification from somebody else in the partner chat of Gamer Subs GG, a one-stop shop for all of your hydration needs. I've already drank 2 jugs today. Go and use code MAUL to get 10% off your Gamer Girl thighs, your incel tears, your raw meat, or my personal favorite, your guacamole gamer fart 9000s. Heart Pirate Alley, thank you for the 100-bit cheer, my friend. Can I add the new character in WoW so if I see you on it can get added to the guild? Yes, the new character's name is Wind Goonery. I have put that name into chat. And then this is all fine. I will just use this bonus turn to heal. I'm going to turn custom cards off for the rest of this stream specifically because we've gone through like straight up 30, I think, this stream. And my brain needs a tiny break. We will also be doing more variety stream tomorrow. We have, I believe, 2 makeup deck roasts to do, but after that we're going to be going back to variety because we're not doing WoW tomorrow. So there will be more opportunities to get your custom card reviewed then. But today, like, I can feel my throat and neck going. Today we had the experience of divine judgment. Someone cast Armageddon and received a phone call 10 minutes later saying his daughter was sick at school. Bro is up there. Bro is watching. Excellent. Thank you, Allie. Yeah, obviously I hope the daughter is okay. Obviously I don't wish, like, actual harm onto the daughter. But if they got the summy tummies... Ripple, no difference. All the Darkest Dungeon streams are variety streams. I think for the time being, the way I want to try to organize things is if we're doing variety, we have one variety game that we are doing at any given time. So right now, our only variety game is Darkest Dungeon. Felian, thank you for the Prime sub for the 2nd month in a row. Yugi bless. Keon, after we got in touch with the police, and the police said they would get in touch with the kid, and we got a bunch of cameras around our house, he has stopped coming around.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Oh, right, predictions. Does the... This is A-Team, right? Yeah, this is A-Team. Cyber Jekyll, don't worry, but there was a kid who was hanging around our house bothering Z last week that we had a couple confrontations with, and that situation is now handled to the best of our ability. God damn it, Poro.
Impressive.
Is it still firing if we flee the quest with casualties and none of the A-Team get fired? Yes, if you die, I am accepting that as a letter of resignation. Ripple Dupes, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Prediction, what am I? Some kind of fulminating prophet? That seems important. That seems important for me to keep track of. Hey, yo, why are you fucking up my Plague Doctor? Okay, so we have Guard. Well, you died to... Yeah, you died of cancer anyway.
On its own.
Okay, Bone Marksman is fucked. I think we just take this guy out.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
That is true. We have had legions of people doubt Ellie and believe that it was Ellie's time to die, and Ellie has always pulled through for us.
This is how a life is taken.
Well, what if you didn't take your fuck-ass turn? Yeah, Ellie noxious as fuck. Type shit. Let's heal a little bit. Let's de-stress. Beautiful. Die.
Continue
Thank
the
you.
onslaught. Destroy them all.
Ugh, I need these fucking deeds, man. I need them so bad. Fuck the citrines. Jade over citrine. I think last time we just backlined the Prophet. What's a card parts of your brain keep trying to convince you is a good card while you're very aware it's not? I think cantrips. Because I started this game as a Spellslinger player, I always want to believe that, like, Opt and Consider are good cards, even though 99% of the time they are just bad. And, oh, no! Go away! Why, okay, crit for 3, real as shit, real as shit. Crit for 3 ain't nothing. Okay. Stun's very bad. Yeah, I think we just blow... Oh, and he has 40 prot too. Holy shit. What's actually low-key fucked up is we did need the Antiquarian here. We would have actually been really happy with the fucking with the extra blight of the Antiquarian. Okay, we get to skip their howl. And now we just have to try to put a ton of poison on these guys. Okay, move resist is crazy. Big critties. Thank you, Girth. Thank you for that, Girth. solid poison.
Give them no quarter.
Now, Moose, I need you to crit like you have never crit. Never mind, you're not even getting a turn. Oh! My fucking dog, bro.
Size alone does
Okay,
not
solid.
dissuade
Good
the
job,
sharpened
Moose.
blade.
The fuck? They're trying to kill my dog. Ooh. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to greed for the heal. Okay, only 2 is fine. And they resist the stun because they're clutch? Okay, heal the dog even more. I think I'm Catholic now. Damn, they hate you, Ellie. Alright, I guess we're fucking shipping them through the prot. Tuscan Fury, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. You have a need, the need for deeds. God, I love the Need for Speed games. Yeah, hold up. Can I be Pope? If I convert, do you think they would make me Pope? Hamber, yeah, that heal was crazy. Oh, and we get a surprise round. Oh, yeah, what if you fucking died, bro? What if you fucking died, you idiot loser? I realize the bleed is wasted on the middle two. And never mind. It's wasted on everybody because everybody dodged the fuck-ass dog. I was trying to get some spread damage. I was trying to get some spread damage onto the Prophet in the back before I went for the Blight. Okay, the dog being... Oh my god, everybody's getting stunned. But his turn is skipped. This guy's dead next round. So I'm actually chill.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Oh, their speed is 9 too. Why are they so fast? What the... Hey, what the fuck? Why are you fast? We will just take that guy right out. Type shit, indeed, thank you. Die, please, thank you. Oh! Phenomenal. Phenomenal! Never mind, we're fucked. Oh, solid, solid. Alright. DMC, thank you for the 100 biddies. To be read like Dracula flow. Haters out here constantly on my ass. They don't know I'm them. I'm on that noxious shit. My shit's so hard, even my medicine is on the battlefield. I did my best. I refuse to clean my sunglasses. Fuck you. They must have amnesia. You'll all die to passive effects, so I'm gonna heal my dog. Type shit indeed. I'm gonna de-stress DMC. DMC is getting way too fucking worried for how easy this dungeon is. Poro's just so girthy.
Back to the pit.
Okay. Dracula Flow has some of like I listened to all of Dracula Flow again a few days ago, And Dracula Flow reminded me of the value of persistence, because Dracula Flow has some of the hardest lines ever written and a ton of just the worst stinkers ever. Like, so much of Dracula Flow is that, like, Norm Macdonald, it's so bad for so long that it becomes good. And then every once in a while, the motherfucker will go Cuban Link about to turn the diamond tester into into like an explosive device. Oh no, Cuban Link about to turn the diamond tester into a pipe bomb is... You can't beat that. You can't beat it. And then there's so much of the rest of it that's just like honestly terrible. But he just keeps fucking going, and he gets to the next banger, and you're like, all right, I'm in. I'm gonna keep, all right. You get 90 more seconds. You get 90 more seconds to figure this shit out, dog. Felix, thank you for the 19th month at Tier 1, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. So glad to be part of the dog home. I love how you are outspoken about mental health, normalizing considerate criticism, and always being hilarious and witty. You're a good dude. What fanfic have you written? And if you haven't written any, if you had to, what would be the source material? I haven't written any. If I wrote any... First of all, thank you, Felix. That was very, very kind. And I appreciate that very much. If I was to write fanfic... I'm trying to think of what property. I would probably write JJK where Gojo won, if I'm being so real. My guy deserved to, and GG a bitch is all I'm gonna say on that. Oh, we get to scout. Holy shit. Thank you, God. Okay, boss is here. So let's camp here. Crash out on this dumbass.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight.
I don't want to eat all my food in case we get hit by a walk later on. Troper, how about you fucking relax? Not Troper, it's DMC. DMC. I am used to Troper getting stressed out. So Ellie, how about you fucking relax? 15 stresses, whatever at this point. We have leeches, which don't matter. We can give like a big scout chance, which... Then I guess we'll just sanctuary, and we'll get... Yeah. Now we're chill. And now we just go fuck up some profits. Lazav, I'm actually fully caught up with Dresden Files. I have finished Battleground as of like a couple days ago. I really liked Ghost Story. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a good concept.
Even the cold stone
But I've liked
seems
all of
bent
the books
on
so far.
preventing passage.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it.
The madman hides there, behind the pews, spouting his
Oh, he just
mind
starts with all the
drivel.
pews this time. All right, fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. Fuck it. Oh, I forgot to feed the dog. I guess hit the pew. Skin Game was hot as hell. I really liked Skin Game. Rowan, yes, I do sign cards at like conventions and stuff. That's not great for me. Oh, this motherfucker is just getting 87 turns. Okay. That's gonna be rough. I think I just keep... I need to get them, like, over the breakpoints of surviving at least one hit.
Unbalanced.
Favorite book in the series now that you've caught up? I think I'd have to... Jesus God, man.
From becoming unwound.
I think I would have to reread the series to have a favorite. A tough part about having... Because all of them kind of blend together at this point because I did so much... I just did so much binge reading. I think, God, this guy just keeps... Moose was the wrong choice for having the prophets in play instantly. Or for having the pews in play immediately. I fucking buffed you and you hit for 8? Okay, that's fine. Ellie, continue poisoning this man. I'm just gonna pray for a crit and hope that this picks up Moose so hard that he doesn't get set to 0 from this. Poro, put some girth on it, please. You fuck up. You absolute goddamn idiot. You fucking failure. Holy shit. I am so upset with you. I don't know what the fuck fulminating is supposed to do, but this seems kind of like an ass ability. Oh, never mind. It was enough to save them, because they had the prop buff. I think we just keep picking up everybody. Real talk, I probably should like focus heal Duke and Scamp, but fuck them. If they can't dodge, it's on them. Do I still have the damage buff? I do. Ooh! Ooh, put the toes on him. Put the toes on him. Fuck this man. Okay, so he's dead next round. We just have to live. We just have to not have anybody explode before his next turn. Wallahi. Wallahi. This is why they're the A-team. This is for anybody who's like, oh, boss, why don't you give me food? Why don't you give me torches? It's because you don't dodge like that. You don't have the moves like that. You don't have the DMC shuffle. You don't have the 3-legged dog triple step like that. It's easy. It is an easy game for children. Fuck it, I'm wasting a turn healing. I'm the Vitruvian op up in this bitch. Fuck this man. I'm spending another turn healing. I'm biting a bench. See if I give a fuck. Die, bozo. Thank you.
Did he foresee his own demise? I care not.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Alright, we get a pew. Fuck this dog treat. Redemption amulet is extremely whatever. Does anybody have empty space? Not really. I can dump that. Do we have any other treasure we can get? No, we got some money. Let's get out of here. Solid work out of the A-team. And we get this incredible bracer. Probably for Moose. I think we probably... Because Moose has been hitting crazy hard. So we probably give that to Moose. What's up, Apex? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Oh, a bunch of believers in chat today. Thank you all very much. Thank you all for putting the weight of your love behind the A-team. Yeah, Will, it's stress, and it's -1 speed, so it's like I knocked my camera over, but I caught it because I'm also on the A-team. -1 speed, unless I really want the person to go first, never feels like that big of a trade-off. Oh, and everybody has the plague? Dog, how did you get rabies? It was a dude! Okay, dud hitter is whatever. Faithless is fine. I'm also an atheist. Second wind is good. Okay, so I just have to put everybody in the fucking sick ward.
Surplus. A rare and wonderful thing.
Bro was in full plate armor. DMC, I know for a goddamn fact you did not clutch out that entire dungeon just to get big shitties when we got home. You can handle the Sonorous Prophet, you can't handle the Taco Bell? Alright, Troper, you're going to... Oh, Troper, you can't be afraid of the light, dog. What is happening? Get that out of here. Then Duke and Scamp. Ennui is okay. Oh my god, you're not allowed to meditate? I'm so tired, man. I'm so tired. Okay, so Walker, you're gonna meditate. Duke and Scamp, if you don't want to meditate, you can get drunk. That's what you're gonna do. Poro, you're actually just fucking fine. Poro doesn't give a shit about any of this. Poro's like, how much you hit me for? I'll heal it. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. We straight gassin', cutting to the blight. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. My mask long, my blinding gas stank. You see this? I did this. I'm really them. I have no stress. I live for this shit. In and out of the dungeon, straight fundamentals. Zero funny business. That was a pretty good one. Do I have any good? Fuck occultists. Surgical gloves are a pretty good, like, all of the time leopard pickup. Oh, that's just Dracula Flow. Okay. Troper, thank you for the 100 bits. Poro really just, these man-made horrors are actually pretty comprehensible. Skill issue, TBH. Poro's unbothered. Poro has the entire weight of the Protestant church. Desert Citizen, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. Can we... We don't have the deeds or the portrait. We just have a ton of busts to upgrade stuff with. Let me try to see what... so it's the sanitarium that needs busts. I'm gonna upgrade that. I'm gonna upgrade that.
But rather, inside the mind.
I'm gonna upgrade that too. Because everybody keeps getting the goddamn plague. Yeah, the Abbey also needs them, but the Abbey is like... The Abbey's okay right now. We actually haven't been falling that far afoul of the stress economy. The only thing that's been catching up to us is we have like... Everybody is devastatingly mentally ill. Everybody has just so many goddamn negative quirks that I cannot stay on top of. We have some newbies, but we don't have room for them. We still need more deeds before we can get a bigger roster or anything like that. I think this is as good a time as any to raid out for the day. And so we are going to do so. And I will see you all tomorrow at noon Pacific for some deck roasting, followed by some more Darkest Dungeon. Oh, patron game night. I'm unsure. I legitimately do not know if my back will be able to take it, because it's been a rough past couple days. So let me do some stretching and consider, and then I will let you know. For whatever custom card is left, I'll hit a refund on that, or we can just do it tomorrow. So who are the currently live homies? Beeps is live. We will raid Beeps. The raid message, as always, is going to be the indestructible Justin Rant command. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to everybody who cheered bits, who donated subs, or who subbed for the first time, the second time, or really any time you've given me money. I appreciate it very much. And I hope that you have had a very good week. I hope that you have some nice plans for yourself this weekend. But above all else, please remember to stay toxic and use code MALD at coolstuffinc.com and gamersubs.gg. YouTube, that's just going to be it for us, but I will be live again tomorrow.